My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot.
You better not complain, bitch.
So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the... Yes, we have the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Boom. Oh, that was loud. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, on the Chairman of the Board podcast. We have a guest with us today. Now, last week, we announced we had a guest for this week. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. So we have... Not really a substitute. You're a guest in and of itself.
He's like the third wheel. No,
He's
that's a derogatory kind of thing to say about him. The third wheel.
It doesn't have to be a derogatory thing.
He's like.
Not if you've got a Robin Reliant.
Oh my god! Right, so this is.
He's like the best man at a wedding.
Yeah, is that right? That would imply that this is a wedding, Paul. Who's the bride?
I fucking don't know, Sam. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, you're finally meeting him, number one fan.
Super fan!
Ryan Green. You didn't do it with me, Paul.
I don't know what I'm supposed to.
Dick.
Do it again.
Do it again. Alright, start again.
Right.
Number one fan, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Green.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
And again, we only have one microphone. Fucking, and you didn't give me a beer, Paul.
Fucking 6 beers down here.
Yeah,
so like,
yourself.
I don't know what. Do you want
He's
one?
hiding them. I did. I also wanted a glass. I suppose that's not happening.
But I've got myself a glass.
Fucking hell, man.
Ryan G. Money Green.
I can have one.
I'm beginning to think you've got a problem, man. The Jack Daniels t-shirt, keeping the beer to yourself,
I just felt like a beer tonight, Sam.
trying to act casual with it in a glass.
I fancied it in a glass as well.
I
Yeah.
was going to bring you some Jack Daniels, but Ashley told me I'm not allowed to. Ash told me don't take Sam Jack Daniels because he's not meant to drink it.
It's my fucking birthday as
I know,
well.
it's half drunk, but I've not drank it, so I was going to give you it.
I'd still appreciate it. I fucking love that Jack Daniels honey though.
Yeah.
That's some good shit.
It's good.
That was my reward when Will Work for Free got to, I think it was like 100,000 views. I was like, this is my reward time.
Did you buy it for yourself though?
Got what?
Did you buy it for yourself?
No, actually, I don't want to admit this.
You got a Kickstarter for it, Ryan?
A Kickstarter for a bottle of Jack Daniels honey.
No, my mum bought it for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
When's the next milestone, Sam?
Well, I thought I was getting another bottle when it hit 200,000, but I didn't get anything.
No. If you have 100,000 as a milestone, you can't have 200,000 because then you need to have 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, you'd have to have 250.
Yeah, 250.
I think 250 is the next
aye.
milestone because that's like a 250,000.
But then you couldn't have 750. Then you need to go for 500,000 and then straight to 1 million. And then for that, 5 million.
It seems so crazy, like
750.
500 million views and stuff like that's fucking. But you know, I'm almost halfway there. You know?
But Justin Bieber's had so many billions, and yous are way more interesting than he is. He needs Jaden Smith to make him interesting.
I know. I was listening to Seth Rogen.
Who's
talk.
that? Is that the karate expert?
Yeah, it sure is.
Thanks for clearing that up.
You're welcome.
Again, we don't have anything planned as well, so this is going to be a total fucking roller coaster of a podcast. So this could be anything. And I hate these episodes where we don't have anything planned because see, trying to name them, it's all right if we got a subject we talk about it and stick to it, but sometimes we just fucking I don't know, just go off in all kinds of directions. But this is a good one though because we can actually name this one. This episode is called Number One Fan Ryan Green. But you pronounce it like
something.
Ryan Green. Sorry?
I finally get my own episode of something.
You do? Of something?
Yeah.
What else did you want an episode of?
I don't know. I'd have to be on something, I suppose. But
Aye man, so do you have anything you want to talk about? You been enjoying the podcast so far?
I love it.
You are our number one fan, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we kind of made up that nickname, but I think you've sort of embraced it.
No, well, that's it. I mean, I like watching it every week. It's always interesting. Two pretty funny guys. Although, when I bumped into Paul and Falkirk the other day, I so wanted to just go up and cuddle him and then walk away and just make it look really strange in the middle of a hobby craft shop. It was actually Paul that noticed me though. Are you Ryan Green? I should have said no.
We should
It was quite weird.
explain the story. Like, So these guys have never met before.
No.
And me and Paul, where did we go? We were at Pizza Hut
Aye.
on that day that fucking everybody thought it was my birthday.
The Pizza Hut buffet.
Yeah, my gran made a mistake and thought it was my birthday on the 1st. And so, you know the way Facebook is like, you don't even really need to check, is it someone's birthday? You just see all the things, happy birthday, happy birthday. And so my gran posted happy birthday, then someone else obviously saw that, posted happy birthday, and I'm like commenting to each one of them, no, it's not my birthday, my gran fucked up. And the next thing you know, I've got like 8 comments, like fucking happy birthday. And I was like, they're not going to believe me now on the 7th when it is my birthday. But so we went out to Pizza Hut and took a birthday photo.
Yeah.
But then we went to the
hobby shop.
The hobby shop, and I was outside, just happened to bump into Ryan Green, and we thought it'd be funny if we snuck up on Paul and he sort of just started talking to him, and then it was like revealed later, oh, you're actually talking to Ryan Green, and it fucking didn't go as well as planned. Paul turns around the corner, I'm hiding trying to get Hazel to bring her back, saying like, wait, leave it, because like we've planned something. The first thing you hear, Paul, are you Ryan Green? He just fucking shattered the plan.
And because he caught me off guard, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, he
Which-
yeah.
If he had even walked past me, I would have probably done that wee silent thumbs up, but he didn't.
But then what if you'd said no? Where would that leave us?
Well,
I would just keep walking. I'd be like, that's fucking him.
And I'd be wondering how many times has he done that to people? Just, are you Ryan Green?
Paul did admit though that I'm not the first person he's asked if they're Ryan Green,
Oh,
so
yeah?
that's scary.
Aye,
I
well,
live my life like that, Sam. I just live on the edge constantly. I'm going to meet people that I've never met in my life.
see, like you guys kind of look similar as well, and you usually wear glasses, so that's kind of
Yeah.
you look a bit different today, but
I don't know if we do look different.
these are pretty similar. Like, am I alone in this here? Like, fucking these two guys just look the same. You could have started this with like you sitting there, and
We could have, yeah.
We should have actually.
but aye. So do you ever just like walk past a shop and see your reflection and like think that's that? Oh no,
That's fucking Ryan Green.
that's that fuck. He's following me everywhere. But
Top shop.
aye. No, so you have met. Do you like each
Aye.
other? Is this
I don't
going
really
good?
know.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we'll get on like
Because this would be an awkward podcast if like halfway through it like we find out that there's something that divides you.
Aye. It's always weird, like, when we have a guest on, like, I'm always in really close vicinity to people that I don't know. Like, I think it would be weird enough if it's you, like, say, like, this setup, like, say we only had one mic and one webcam and we had to do this. Like, when we first started this, I thought it was so fucking weird that I had to sit across the table for him and sit and look at him and talk at him. Because you don't do that in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, you sit and you're looking here or there, but, like, now I'm like, that was weird. But now, fucking somebody I don't even know is, like, in my space.
But then, why doesn't Sam need to share the microphone?
I know.
Because he's the host.
Yeah, but you're a
Aye.
co-host, so you have power too.
Aye, I'm not the.
Aye,
I'm
I
not
know,
the
but I see
sole
it
host.
I see it as your baby.
No, this
Aye.
is our show, Paul.
I feel like you're the Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell,
Is that his name? The Joe Rogan's pal.
Brian Redband.
He's got that Duncan Trussell guy as well. I don't really listen to him. Like, I do listen to some Joe Rogan stuff. I listened to that one this week with that Stephen Greer guy, and he was a bit mad. Aye, I know, Sam. Is the headphones picking
Oh
them
no,
up?
I've just realised. All right, so we're hearing a lot of noise, and what it is Hazel's actually watching this in the next room. So Hazel, shut the fucking door or something. Fucking
I
hell.
don't think she's watching it, because I heard audience laughter. Unless you fucking put canned laughter on it this week, Sam.
I've snuck it in.
She'll be watching The Big Bang Theory or something.
No,
It's
no,
probably
No, it
just
is, it is,
it is
it
us.
is.
It's probably just us
I
laughing
was
at,
sure I could hear a canned laughter.
laughing at our own jokes because we're cool that way.
Hilarious!
Aye, man. So subjects. What do you want to talk about, Ryan? This is like, although it's our show, Paul. It's our
Yeah.
show. It's not just my show.
Aye.
Fucking hell. This week it's kind of your show. You can do whatever you want. Just don't get naked. That's all we ask.
I try not to these days.
Or don't fart in jars. That's the other thing. We've not spoke about fart jars in a while.
It came up this week, Sam.
This week.
Aye, we were talking about it for some reason.
Oh, I thought you meant just now. I was like, yeah,
No.
just brought it up.
I just brought it up right now.
The fucking reason I'm bringing it up is to say that we don't bring it up. Because like I had the cool idea for the T-shirt. I was like, yeah, you know what we should do? Like the chairman of the board logo. I'll fucking take all the colour out of it, you know, and then make like one solid colour. I'll make it green, right?
Okay.
And then I'll put it inside this jar, right? And then the jar will have holes in it, and the the fumes coming up will spell out chairman of the board. And I was telling Paul this, I was all excited, yeah, we'll have these fart jar t-shirts. And Paul was like, but we only spoke about that once. I was like, oh yeah.
And it was weird as well, because like I kind of think I was driving when you were telling me, and I think I zoned out, and I was like, and then I listened, I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't know. I was like, what is he talking about?
It's kind of like Casey Dixie, like their mandolin player wears like the whole Cactus Jack marble effect kind of top.
I think you've showed me some Casey Dixie.
They've got a song called "Keeping Your Poop in a Jar."
All right.
And it's quite a funny song, but you could have had like the fart jar, and it could have had "Keeping Your Farts in a Jar."
Oh,
See, but
Like,
only
you
you
had
would
the
get the
marble
reference.
effect through it, because your chairman of the board logo's kind of that marble effect. It would work.
aye, it's kind of like a smoky fart gas colour.
Aye, it's
Like
got
in a
weird-
cartoon, like if a duck or something was like following the smell of a fart, that would be what it would look like. That kind of wispy smell.
That's what our t-shirts look like.
Yeah,
That's what
or
you're
like
saying.
a pie on a windowsill, and Donald Duck's going towards the pie on the windowsill. Do
Looks
ducks
like-
eat pies?
It looks like North Korea from Google Maps. It's
Oh
just
yeah, we had a
cloud of
fucking
yellow.
North Korea thing last week as well.
Aye.
I wanted to tell you about and totally forgot. I wanted to keep up on North
Oh
Korea
aye, I missed that as
every
well,
week.
Sam, aye.
See, now I can't really remember the details. It was something to do with there was a hairdresser.
Aye, I think we all spoke about that.
Yeah.
No, we didn't speak about that on this.
I
That
spoke
was
to
brought
Ryan
up at one
about
point
it.
about the
I think
all the
we-
university
we-
students
we
were told you must have the same haircut as.
I thought it was the whole
No,
country.
we spoke about that.
Uh-huh.
But this is what I'm saying. Off the back of that, in London,
Oh yeah, you put up the poster.
yeah, there was a guy who owns a salon. He put up a poster outside of Kim Jong Un, and the fucking tag is "Bad Hair Day?" ?
Right.
And you know, it's obviously like bad hair day. Go on and get your salon. Well, like apparently there was like Korean officials or something like that said, "Oh, you can't do this. This is disrespectful to the great leader."
Right.
And they basically told him, if you don't take it down, we'll shut you down, kind of thing.
And he's like, "Yeah, but this isn't fucking North Korea. He's not
Aye.
my great leader." You know. So that was a wee story there. But that's what I'm saying. I meant to bring it up last week. Now I kind of forgot all the minor details.
That is the gist of it, though.
Yeah, kinda.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, though, the whole fucking that whole thing. I don't know if we talked about the haircut thing on the podcast. I'm sure I talked to you about it. Like
No, we
through
did, we did.
Facebook or something. Did I?
We spoke about it.
It
Yeah.
was covered briefly. Aye.
I think so. Anyway.
There's not much you can say about it.
Anyway, sorry. I'm thinking I was interrupting you there. I don't know if
No,
you
no,
said
no.
something.
no. Just
Oh, we were talking about Casey Dixie.
yeah. There's not been much in the news this week that I've paid attention to though. Like,
No.
There was the whole like Elena Baltasha dying, which was
Aye.
quite a shame for British tennis. She's only 30.
Mhm.
So, I mean that's quite.
Aye.
She's been ill for like 6-7 years though, so she's.
Do you know what is weird as well? There seems to always be a fucking death. I've noticed this whenever we do the podcast. There's always we're always saying someone died this week.
Aye.
Yeah, because
It's just like every week there's a fucking death.
Again, that
Peaches
There's
Geldof.
Peaches
as well.
Geldof as
Well,
well.
I heard that this week that they found out that she had heroin in her system.
Yeah, yeah.
and Bob Hoskins as well.
Aye,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was good in
yeah.
Hook. I liked him in
Yeah,
Hook.
he was good.
Shmee.
Aye.
Shmee.
Oh, what was that I was watching? I'm sure he was in it. It was something I was watching. That's what I was watching. I don't know if it was him that was in it, but it was something that was like right like him. I was
Mhm.
watching Helter Skelter.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
It's
song.
like the Charles Manson.
Alright, aye.
I don't know if it's a made-for-TV movie or what it is.
Aye.
And it's fucking awful. Like, I just think it's so bad. You know, it comes across like they're purposely trying to portray him as this fucking nut job. And
Charles Manson.
yeah, and like I mean, you talk to people and you say, "What do you think of Charles Manson?" You go, "A nut job."
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you that he is a bit fucking kooky, you know. But you watch his videos, like Charles Manson's got all these interviews and stuff like he's had, and every one of them, the fucking presenters are really trying to make him out to be like they're doing those pressing questions where they're trying to get this response from him.
Yep.
And a lot of times, I don't know, I find it hard to disagree with him. Sometimes he says a lot of things that are
He's
I mean-
supposed to be a very smart guy.
well, that's it. And I mean, it could be like maybe I'm reading into it because a lot of it's kind of sort of metaphorical, you know, and I'm maybe looking at it in my own sort of way, you know. But I don't know. I find it hard to disagree with him sometimes. I mean, obviously he's got stuff out there that I don't agree with, but he says a lot of good. He doesn't come across like this just absolute psycho, and that's what this film kind of portrays him as, just this fucking nut job. Like they're sitting in the film, and the weird thing about the film as well is we're talking about Lost. There's a character in Lost, Daniel Faraday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the guy that fucking plays Charles
He
Manson.
would be a good Charles Manson.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was watching. And I was like, I fucking know this guy, like, you know, and because it is kind of the same character a little bit, you know.
What was
way he's
the-
like thingied.
The Guns N' Roses song that Charles Manson wrote.
I
Like he
don't
wrote it
know.
in prison, and it's the secret track on one of the Guns N' Roses albums. I think it's like get your game girl or look at your game girl or something.
Aye, because and fucking Axl Rose used to wear like the Charles Manson
Yeah.
T-shirt and stuff.
Because he recorded it and like I'd listened to it and I thought, oh, that's a brilliant wee song, and then like after reading into it and I was like, Charles Manson wrote it.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, really? But
Yeah, like I don't know. I'll tell you some things about him, like because we were watching this film. Like we were in the film, there's a bit where they're all sitting around like this kind of what would be a campfire during the day. But they're all sitting around, you know, all the stones and stuff. And this girl like asks him a question, and he like looks at her, and then he punches her. Right? It's fucking ridiculous. And then some guy stands up, and then someone else grabs him, and like brings him back down. And then in the film, there's like this woman who's like new to the camp. She's just kind of joined and whatever. So she's like the protagonist. You're sort of seeing it all through her eyes, kind of thing. And so she's like kind of looking about, like he just hit her. And this other girl goes, "He's only giving her what she wants." And you're like, what? Like, all right, okay, so they're all nut jobs. Then the girl who got punched just gets up and like she's got this goofy fucking smile on her face, and she just sits back next to him and she's like looking at him and smiling. And it's like, this isn't fucking real life. This isn't what happened.
yeah.
You know, but that's the way they're trying to portray it as just like something you can't relate to. Like it's just they're absolutely just out there, insane, and all that stuff. And that's what the fucking that's what the movie's trying to get you to believe. But then you go and watch the actual fucking interviews, and I'm talking, and he's quite fucking coherent a lot of the time. Like, yeah, he's got his goofiness, but a lot of that I think is playing off of the fact that you see the interviews like Geraldo. There's one where he fucking what's his name, Geraldo, whatever his second name is, you know, the Fox News guy,
Yeah.
and he's like interviewing him, and he's asking all these questions, and he's like fucking, you know. Tell me about Charles Manson. And it's like, do you consider yourself a good person? And he's like, yeah, I'm good and bad. He's like, yeah, so are you a bad person? And he's like, I'm good and bad. He's like, do you consider yourself a bad person? And he's like, look, you know, we're all good and we're all bad. And he's like, tell me about the bad. Right. And you're like, fuck off, man. You're just trying to get this story, you know, trying to paint him in a certain light.
Yeah.
And so Charles Manson, when you watch him, there is a lot of goofiness, but if you look into it properly, like you can see he's playing off of the way that they're trying to portray him.
Yeah.
You know. And so anyway, I was watching this film and fucking it got me really annoyed because I'm like, you know, you almost, and I know it's stupid to say you should get your information from films,
Yeah.
but they're painting them a certain way, and it's just not like that at all. And you just
Who
feel a
made the
bit
film?
fucking let down.
So remember there was that film.
I don't know. It may have been like a made-for-TV thing. I don't know if it was like
Alright.
properly released and all that stuff. But
Because I was going to say, however many years ago, there was a film out called Last Days, and it was about Kurt Cobain, and it was a movie, but it wasn't really about Kurt Cobain, but it was about Kurt Cobain. They just weren't like, this is Kurt Cobain. Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah, I think I know the film.
And it was fucking, I bought it, and it was fucking horrible.
what was it called?
Last Days, I'm sure it was called.
Aye, and
And-
the front cover's like just his face.
With like them white glasses
Aye,
on
aye,
and
aye.
that, and it was
Yeah.
just like the fucking, like, I think it's this guy Gus Van Sant that made it, and he kind of portrays himself as this kind of like artsy filmmaker, I think. But I just thought it was fucking god awful. Like the first like half hour was Kurt Cobain fucking bumbling about in this house in the fucking country in the middle of a forest, and there was something to do with like a shotgun he had, and he was just. And then he was fucking bumbling about in the forest, and then he went in and he was eating cereal. Then some guy came in, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like it never, like there was no reference to this guy being in a band, but it was like, "This is Kurt Cobain." But we're not saying it's Kurt Cobain, but it's Kurt Cobain.
I think I tried watching it, and I watched about
I couldn't
maybe
fucking
like 20
watch
minutes.
it. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
But you know what? These films, it feels like fucking people have read the sort of footnotes of like what this guy is supposed to be,
Aye, that's what
and then
it's
they
like.
went and just made a film off of.
It's like they've picked up a book, read the blurb,
Yeah.
and went, yep, I know the gist of that story, we can make the film now.
Aye,
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it's like. Kurt
that's
Cobain
what-
bumbles about his house for half an hour.
So that's things that annoy me. Like Courtney Love, she's always been saying like she blames Dave Grohl for Kurt Cobain's death and so on, and she's been slating him in the press and so on for so many years. And then like later on this year, she said that like she really loves Dave Grohl, she respects him as a person, and like she
Aye.
really wants him to. She wishes him all the best for his career, and she'd like to work with him sometime. And I thought, what? Why is that happening? Like,
But then maybe
You know-
she's just going after Dave Grohl because he's a big name. Do you know what I mean? He's fucking Dave Grohl. Like, but was there not the thing about when they were inducting him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently? Bear?
A bit too close. It's fucking vibrating.
When they were inducing them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently, and they're talking about Courtney Love performing with Nirvana, like fronting them.
oh yeah.
I don't know if she actually did do it.
I don't think she did. I think it was. I'm sure I'd seen that. I'm sure Taylor Swift was one of them. I'm sure it was like Taylor Swift, Dave Grohl, Pat Smear, and someone else. I don't think it was Courtney Love, but I think there had been talk. But I'm pretty sure it was Taylor Swift that was the front woman.
Were you a big Nirvana fan?
I fucking hate Nirvana. The only reason I hate them is like some of their songs are okay, but I hate the fact that like you walk down the street and you see all of the little folk wearing like their Nirvana hoodies and like their Nevermind t-shirts, and it's like you're only doing it because he committed suicide.
Aye.
Like
I mean, that's kind of not Nirvana's fault, but I know what you mean.
no, but it's like they've got this legacy and this following of fans because he committed suicide.
We had, I mean, when we first started getting into sort of alternative kind of stuff, and I remember I had a Nirvana t-shirt at one point, but I properly liked them, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I liked Unplugged.
Aye, that was good.
And you know, and I liked a few of their kind of mainstream songs, but I wouldn't know anything off of, you know. There's a lot of obscure songs.
Catalogue or whatever like that.
Yeah, yeah. Although there was this one song I was aware of, and it was like a really rare song, and it was like he only ever played it like on this radio thing. I think it was called Opinion.
No, I've not heard.
Opinion.
I don't know, Sam, I like it though. It sounds like the Beach Boys. My opinions.
I wonder if I could play that. Nah, probably not. But I can't get it out of my
Courtney
head now.
Love's hardly going to come after you, Sam.
I know, but no. So I was aware of that. But so there was this wee guy. I won't say his name. Just I don't think he watches this, but just in case, there was this wee guy that sort of started hanging about with us, and he done what you're talking about. Went off and got a Nirvana top, and so we knew he fucking didn't have a clue who Nirvana was. Right? We thought he didn't even know a song. We thought he just bought the t-shirt because he'd seen us wearing the t-shirt.
I like the fucking skull.
Yeah, and he got like the red one, you know. It's not even the fucking real one. I don't know. But yeah, so we were all like making fun of him and stuff like that, you know, and we're like, which is a bit mean, like looking back on it. Like,
You do that when you're younger.
yeah, we were saying to him like, oh yeah, big Nirvana fan, yeah. What's your favourite song, right? And he was like, oh, I'd probably say "Smells Like Teen." And we were like, oh yeah, "Smells Like Teen Spirit." And he's like, eh? And we're like, "Smells Like Teen Spirit." And he's like, no, "Smells Like Teen."
So he's correcting you now.
Yeah. And I was like,
Wrongly.
what do you mean "Smells Like Teen"? He's like, the song's called "Smells Like Teen." And I'm like, no, it's not. It smells like Teen Spirit. And he's fucking arguing with me, right? And it took us a while, and I'm like, this fucking douchebag's arguing with me about the fucking title of the song. The fucking most obvious song that, you know, they have. And then what it turned out was, what we realised was, he'd only ever seen it on Kerrang.
Yeah.
And Kerrang, the name was too long, so they didn't have on screen "Smells Like Teen Spirit." They cut it off, so it just came up "Smells Like Teen."
Aye.
So like he was convinced that was the name of the song, but it just showed you like he didn't have any of the fucking albums, or you know, he I didn't even know he knew one of their songs, but of course he'd seen one of their songs and whatever, had his t-shirt and all that. So like maybe some of them do know "Smells Like Teen,"
Yeah.
but yeah, he was one of these guys just wearing the t-shirt because it was whatever.
It's like that was a thing that.
And I'll tell you something as well, though, right? I've not got necessarily anything against. Like, if you've got a fucking band, right? Like, say Guns N' Roses, and they're bad for it as well. You see people like walking about with Guns N' Roses t-shirts, and
And
you
like
know,
Ramones and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Like all these like
lot of
shops sell like
Ramones.
Ramones t-shirts and fucking Guns N' Roses t-shirts and AC/DC t-shirts, and you're like, you don't fucking listen to you don't listen to that.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
And-
I seen sorry Sam, there's
Yeah.
like a lassie that like somebody's daughter that I know, right? And she was like chatting one day, and she's like fucking going on and on and on and on about how much she loves Justin Bieber and Justin Bieber this and Justin Bieber that and blah blah blah, right? And then she's fucking like on her iPad. I look over, and there's like the fucking like Nirvana fucking thing was on her iPad, like the fucking smiley face with like the crossed out eyes and that. I'm like, she has no fucking clue who Nirvana is. She's just like seen somebody wearing it, and like she's like, that's a thing. Like that's like a fucking like a fashion thing or something. That's a cool thing. But like, it's not. Like fucking like Kurt Cobain and Nirvana and grunge is the opposite of fucking Justin Bieber in any fucking way. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have a clue.
But they kind of became, I guess, in a way like that, unintentionally, of course. But
aye.
I mean, that was a story that annoyed me during the week as well. That I'd seen posted on Facebook and I read it. And Asking Alexandria, like that band, have stated that they blame Nirvana and Metallica for killing
were you
thrash
talking about
metal.
this last week, I think?
I think we talked about this when we met.
Yeah, I think we did when we were at the retail
Right.
So they've blamed Nirvana and Metallica for ruining thrash metal. And it's like, this is a band that have been around for like, what, a year? They've maybe sold so many 100,000 albums, had a couple of gigs.
But you know what? We're talking about them. Could be a strategic move.
No, that's what I mean. It's probably like some kind of advertising ploy to get hated to the point where people want to buy their stuff. But it's like, how can a band that have no established like career yet try and slate a band like Metallica? Have been going for 30 years. They've sold out so many arenas, sold hundreds of millions of albums. Like,
and I wouldn't even see Metallica as like thrash metal. Like maybe like Kill 'Em All's thrash metal.
I mean,
but I wouldn't say like the rest of it.
What do you think about fucking Nirvana, not Nirvana, Metallica, and the whole? Because I've been watching a lot of videos as well on remixing.
Yep.
And you know, there's a big community of like people who are advocates of open source, like fair use, whatever, and piracy, basically. You know, and of course, Metallica are one of the major players that are like against that. They won't have any of the shit, and there was a big fucking lawsuit with Napster and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't know. What do you think? Do you think they're right to do that, or?
I think any artist's got to protect their interests, because like if everybody put music out for free, it would cost them a shitload of money to put on any kind of concert. It's like, maybe say, for example, Asking Alexandria, when they started out, they'd get given so much for writing an album, then they're getting told you're going on tour. They've got to pay for that tour to start with. So if they're not selling albums, it's coming out their own pocket. If they totally flop, they're in debt.
I get you, but wouldn't the sort of record label kind of front them?
Yeah, I mean, they would subsidise it, but they've got to make that money back. Like, the record label would want that money back. So, I mean, if they're not selling the albums to pay the record label back, then the record label's going to be like, yeah, we're dropping you, kind of thing. So it's...
Another thing that's sort of happening, though, with it as well is, although you're not putting your stuff up there necessarily for free, some bands are putting their stuff up on YouTube, and they'll put it through, what is it, like, is it Vimo? Or Vivo?
I think it's
Vivo. And so they'll get money from advertisements and stuff like that.
But then that's like very little as well, because that just goes on, like that would just be the same as like the way YouTube kind of does it as well. But like I'd heard a thing, it was something Dave Grohl said actually, and he was chatting about like the way that bands used to do it, like fucking back like in the years and years ago, like fucking the Nirvana days, like early Nirvana, like early Metallica days, like the way that people heard about these bands was through tape trading. He's like, people would like get a tape of like Metallica and fucking copy it and give it to their pal and give it to their pal, and this tape would get passed around. And he's like, it's the same exact thing as like what people do nowadays with downloading music, but like he says, like for what it costs to put a record out and all that kind of stuff, like when it comes back to the artist, better.
Aye.
When it
It's
comes
just
back,
a bit pingy.
when it comes back to the artist, like the fucking like they would hardly notice it, and they're fucking like. They're riding around in fucking mansions and fucking going on speedboats and all this kind of shit all the time. Like, they've got money, do you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to miss, like, fucking 25 cents or whatever they get back off an album, like, after they fucking print the cost of it and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, the way that, like, how much is an album nowadays on iTunes, like a fucking normal album? It's not that different from, like, the normal price of, like, going into a fucking shop and buying the CD, is it?
It's still about £10-12 or something, so it's...
Does it depend how many songs are on it? Because I know it's like, I don't know if when they initially like launched iTunes, I don't know if it's still like this, but it was like 99 cent or whatever it was for a song.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what song it was. And I kind of liked that. Like it was saying, like, you know, it's fair game kind of thing. And then you can kind of tell how many people like it by the numbers, by the downloads.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why YouTube's good as well. Like fucking
Aye.
Gundam style.
Yeah.
You go on that and that's got like what, fucking 16 million no, I think it's like in the
It's
billions
in
almost.
the billions now, yeah.
Aye.
But like, sorry, just like to get back to like with the Dave Grohl thing, he was saying that like it's when artists and that get selfish, and they're like, that's fucking money that we're losing out on because fucking somebody's downloading an album that we could have got like the money back on. He says, but real artists that are really wanting to fucking make it in music, they're not fucking doing it for money. Like, it's not the kind of thing you set out to for money. Like, it's a hard graft at the start. Like, you fucking do it because you love music. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Dave that we had on the other week.
Yeah.
He's not one. He's just fucking like, I just want to put it out there. Like, fucking, I do it because I love it and enjoy it. Like,
I like the way he does it.
and
He's
that's
got all the
exactly
stuff
what
up.
it should be like.
He's got all the stuff up for free,
Uh-huh.
and if you like it, you can choose to give him an amount for it, and it's up
Aye,
to you
that's
how
it.
much you give him. That's such a fucking a good way of doing
Aye.
it, because people do that as well. People would. I often hear people talk about how they download a film. You know, I'll download a film, and if it's a fucking garbage film, there's no way I'd buy it.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's a really good film, like if it's fucking Star Trek or something like that, they'll go out and buy it because they want to support it, or they want to put their money like in. They want to vote with their money, kind of thing, you know. And that's kind of the way it should be done. Because then if that type of system was embraced by everyone,
Yeah.
you wouldn't end up with these fucking crap films like these rom-coms that come out that are the same every fucking time they come out.
Around Valentine's Day, then the big fucking films come up to Christmas and that, like, do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and it's all these famous people, and it's all the exact same jokes you've heard a million times, just in a slightly different context,
Yep.
a slightly different structure. And
I mean, look at that film that we watched, Sam. God, I can't even remember what it's called now, but remember it was that amateur one that I showed you. It wasn't like...
wait a minute here, Paul. I thought we agreed not to tell anyone about this.
I'm sorry, man. I
Is
feel like
Tanya,
it was
is
really
Tanya
hard.
listening?
No.
Was this downloaded from those dodgy websites, or was it?
Funnily enough, I found it myself, Ryan. They didn't know though. I was trapped in the
You were in
closet.
the bushes.
Yeah, I
Behind
know.
the camera the whole time.
But no, do you know the film? I fucking don't know what it's called. It was about the two kids killing the folk in the high school.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
there you go.
that
now.
was
That's
really
a
fucking good.
What's it called though for people?
I don't know. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't even a film that you've heard of, Ryan.
How do you know?
We've got a guy who always fucking helps us out with the shit whenever we forget something. His YouTube's name is War is a Racket. He maybe knows what we're
yes,
talking about.
aye.
He always fucking helps us out. The film is. What is the film? It's two high school
Two
kids.
high school kids, and basically they are. It's a
Is it
really
Canadian
amateur
or
film.
American,
I don't know
or
if
where the fuck's it
they
from
might
again?
be Canadian, but they are filming a documentary in their high school, right? And they're filming about these bullies. Now they've got a name for the bullies. I can't remember what the bullies are called. It's called the Dirties. That's what it's called. The film's called the Dirties.
Right.
And the bullies, they're filming the bullies, and like the footage is real high school footage. Like they genuinely did film bullies in this. Like there's like a scene where like a guy stands up and like slaps somebody in a cafeteria, and it's real, right? Because a lot of it was like they had to like do it on fucking whatever budget. Like the two of them wrote it and produced it themselves, and then they've got this kind of relationship.
So
and then in the end,
it is a film, but you're watching it in the sort of like it's
They are-
portrayed as
it's
a
a film.
documentary.
Would you say it was
It's-
a mockumentary?
it's almost like a found footage kind of film. Like
It's
they
kind of
are
like a
watching-
mockumentary, but it's not like a comedy or anything
Aye.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a.
It's
yeah.
like it is like it's more like found footage. Like they film themselves doing it, and they film themselves making a film, and that is the story. Like they are filming themselves making a film.
Aye. And it's controversial because the whole
The
whole
school
point
shooting
of the
thing.
film is it's
But,
a
like,
school
I
shooting.
just
They
thought it's
plan it.
fucking like really good, and I really did enjoy it. It's called
Aye.
The Dirties. If you've never seen it, fucking I know where I'm looking. Go and look at it. I don't know who made it, but it's fucking really good. I really enjoyed it.
It's crazy that as well that people are and this is kind of that like not necessarily competition, but just like technology is becoming so fucking easy. I mean, there you go. I produced a film, that relatively not that much work, sitting in a computer. It's one guy almost, obviously Stephen Joe helped with the sound, but to produce a 2-hour fucking film just sitting at home, it's crazy that we can do that in this day and age,
Yeah,
And
because I mean, you think about it, like years and years ago, people went out with the old like cameras and stood in different lighting to get different scenes and stuff. But
Yeah,
nowadays, like you can do the whole thing You can
Yeah.
do your voiceover. You can
Yeah.
train your images.
And my brother as well starting up a film company, Tartan Pink Films.
Tartan what, sorry?
Tartan Pink Films.
Tartan Pink. Alright, very good.
And his
Um,
little short film that he put on YouTube, like once he had got his degree and stuff. Like,
Aye.
Aye.
that was
See-
brilliant.
Aye, see, that wasn't just him doing it. That was part of a project.
Yeah.
So there'd be some days where he's not there as well and stuff like that. But the point I'm making is like he's now getting this camera that he's going to be able to, with I don't know how much of a budget you'd necessarily need. You know, with all the software that's out there, with everything that exists, and also promoting it as well used to be a huge fucking thing. Now you've got YouTube. If the thing's good, it'll sell itself.
Yep.
And so it's a weird sort of direction we're going in as well, because I mean I don't see people.
The way that people are now making like made for Netflix movies and
Well,
made
even-
for Netflix TV shows and
Yeah.
stuff, like they don't want to release them in the mainstream.
Well, even do you know what? How many TV shows are there? Right, like You've Been Framed,
Yeah.
but there's like RedTube.
Ridiculousness is brilliant.
Sorry, RedTube.
I'm
Red
going to
Chip.
fucking say
Aye, I
I'm
think-
not actually on telly, Sam.
RedTube, I'm sure is
I think that's a
one of
porn
those
site.
Porn websites, yeah.
Aye, I knew it was
I
one
know
of them.
that.
I was like,
By mistake.
where is he going with?
There's Daniel Tosh as well. I don't know if you've seen this. It's Daniel Tosh 1.0, and it's another one of these shows where here's internet videos. So the whole show is here's internet content.
It's exactly like Ridiculousness. That's a guy called Rob Deerdick.
Aye.
He's on it with Chanel West Coast. It's on MTV. It's basically they say they bring on Snoop Dogg, and because they know he smokes all the time, they like have people called or it's like tumbleweed, and it's like people that are total dopey and they fall over all the time. So they've got a category and they put in all these videos, and
Yeah,
it's good to watch. Like,
I've not heard of that one.
We
but
can enjoy it. It's really good. It's on MTV.
so it's another show.
Another, yeah. Home movie kind of thing.
So this is like, I don't know. I mean, it's taken off. That RedTube's taken off. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
fucking. That's all over the
RedTube, we
place.
hated it at first because it's Alex Zane that presents it.
Yeah.
We didn't like him.
Yeah.
But then, like, you realise he's acting the way he is because that's, like, for TV and so on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
some of the clips they put on, like, because it shows about certain subjects and certain themes, it's quite appealing. Like, if there's one that you didn't want to watch because it's about animals, fair dues. But then the following week it's
Yeah.
about, like, total wipeouts and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's to
So-
everybody's taste. It's not just you're going to be watching, like, You've Been Framed and there's something like, oh, here's one about snowmen.
So I love the idea of like the higher and higher budgets kind of production and actors being paid millions of things. Like Jennifer Aniston, you'll have a Jennifer Aniston flick and she'll be paid like fucking 10 million or whatever it is, probably more than that, but whatever it is to do the film. And if people just end up not fucking going to the cinema to see that shit, it'll die on its own. And it's not like anyone's planning to fucking kill off the bullshit mainstream stereotypical rom-coms that come out, but it's just because of technology and people are. I mean, even we're fucking doing it. We're like, right? This isn't a fucking anyway high budget program or whatever, but maybe someone will be watching this. We do have people watching it, obviously, but maybe someone will watch this as opposed to watching fucking X Factor or whatever else is fucking on. And this is produced for free. You don't have to pay anything. Like, we stream it live. I mean, we do stick the adverts on, although I'm thinking about fucking taking them off because you don't get any fucking money from them. It's like 1 penny per 100,000 views or some shit
Can
like
we
that.
make a pound first of the views, Sam? Have we even made a penny yet?
We're
No,
going to split it 50-50.
no, I don't know. I don't know if I've got it set up right though, because like I don't know. It's a bit weird that it's like you go into the analytics and it's like not even 1 penny has been made, and I don't know. Like obviously, because I didn't monetize Will Work for free,
Yeah.
and I couldn't because it's fair use. But I thought, well, there's no harm in sticking adverts on here,
No.
and whatever, because people have sponsors. So rather than go to sponsors, see what we can do with the fucking embedded YouTube adverts. And even then, there's like a little fucking advert thing that comes along the bottom of the screen as well. But I don't think it does anything. I maybe haven't set up right. It's like the adverts are coming on, but there's not even a fucking penny drawn from them.
But maybe it's like one of those ones where, sometimes like see you're trying to get credits for using something, like, and you've got to watch a video to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got to watch the full video before it counts. Kind of like on iTunes, if you listen to a
That's
song
a
and you skip
point,
it,
actually,
it doesn't
yeah.
come up as one hit. you've got to listen to the whole song before it counts as being listened to.
No, I don't know.
So maybe like you've got to watch the whole advert in order for it to register for you to make it.
Aye, probably.
And I know when it's me on YouTube and so on, and the advert comes up, I can't wait till the 5 seconds disappears.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
I am the
skip
same
ad.
as well.
And when you get the ones that are a minute long and you can't skip them, and you've just got to sit there sort of going,
Yeah.
I'd give up. I'll watch a different video.
yeah, I'll
I
find
was
one that's
Aye,
shit quality
and I
I'll
don't
go,
know if I can adjust that. As far as I know, the adverts that come up on Chairman of the Board, they're ones you can skip. As far
That
as I know,
must be
they're
hard
not.
to do, to fucking grab somebody's attention in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
With
I'll say
people
is-
that know they want to skip an advert.
I'll just say as well, for anyone listening, don't fucking feel like you have to watch it. Skip the shit out of it. Like,
Aye.
I've only put it up there just to see if anything happened from it. I'm probably going to take them all down because it's really not worth it, and it's just a fucking waste of time.
Aye.
But yeah, no, it was just to see, like, because obviously I don't have any other fucking means of income.
I mean,
So
it annoys me because like the BBC are the station that are responsible for like the fact that we need to pay a TV license because there's no advertising at all. But that's the way I'd rather watch programming. I don't
Yeah.
want to be sitting there in 15 minutes through a program or a film. And you've suddenly got to sit there for 4 minutes or 5 minutes.
Aye.
well, that's what fucking Netflix are doing. The fucking fucking pay a $5 a month, and that's it. No adverts.
Well, look at like us.
As far as I know, they don't
like,
have
They
adverts.
don't have adverts.
Like 4OD. When I first got that on my phone, there was like no adverts. There was maybe like one advert. But now, the fucking like they're as long as the normal adverts would be on
Yeah.
fucking 4OD. It's ridiculous. I'd be
It's the
like,
same.
I don't
what's
know
the
about-
point in it then?
I don't know about 4OD, but it was the same with STV Player, one of them,
Yeah.
ITV
Aye.
Player.
I wanted to watch the football one night and Ash was watching TV, so I was like, well, I'll put it on the PC. And so first you've got to register. Like every time you go on, you must put on your postcode so it knows that you're Scottish and so on, which pisses me off. And then you've got to sit through like 4 5-minute adverts before you can watch
Aye,
it.
it's ridiculous.
By then it's like 4-0, you've missed half the game.
And it's worse watching the countdown as well for an advert. You don't just sit and fucking look at an advert like you
No,
would
you
on
don't.
telly. There's a fucking thing you're like, right, how many seconds left?
8, 7,
Aye, I know.
6. Fucking.
Yep.
You know what's weird as well? Like the wrestling used to get shown on a Friday,
Yep.
and what would happen is it'd be taped on the Monday, and they would just put it all together, and then chop where they thought they should put the adverts for British TV. And of course, we don't have as many adverts as them.
Aye.
So we would watch Monday Night Raw and be used to, you know, I don't know, what was like 15, 20 minutes, and then like a small advert, then you'd be watching another 20 minutes, then like a small advert. Whereas now, because it's live, they have to go to adverts when the Americans go to adverts.
But they put in like video segments where it's like introducing a new wrestler or talking about like how they met the troops or
Aye, well, even like fucking, like someone will come down to the ring, and you're like, alright, this match is about to start, and then it cuts to an advert. You're like, what? And you're thinking, what the fuck is the guy in the ring doing? Is he just kind of hanging out? Like, did they show the adverts on the fucking big screen?
yeah.
But what I think, because like we don't have as many adverts as them, like they'll probably be running like fucking loads of different adverts, and it's all fucking medication, and it's all like fucking.
SmackDown's the same though because like SmackDown's filmed on the Tuesday, but we don't get it to the Friday. So when
Right.
you watch SmackDown, there's quite a lot of times during the match they'll be like, "We'll continue this match when we come back," and then
So they
straight
still
away it just
cut.
goes, "And what you missed during the break," and it shows you the
Yeah,
video,
yeah.
but you've not actually missed it.
Oh, so they didn't actually cut
No,
to an
they've,
advert.
they've just basically cut out the American
Yeah,
adverts
yeah.
for British TV. So it'll be like, "We'll continue this match as soon as we come back."
See-
then straight away it just comes back on. They'll be like, "What happened during the break was,"
Yeah.
and it shows
See
you.
what happened on Raw years ago when it was on Friday. I think they used to edit out the commentary, so you wouldn't even hear them saying,
Right.
"We'll be back right after these." You know, they'd have like a separate audio track for the commentary for Britain, and you could tell sometimes where it was overdubbed if they'd be like promoting a show
Yeah.
in England or something. But the point I was going to say is though now, because they have to go to the adverts, and we don't, it seems like we don't have as many fucking advert schedules as them, so they just repeat the same adverts. So when it cuts to the adverts, you're watching the same fucking adverts, the same sequence of adverts, near enough, over and fucking over, and you know, it just puts you off.
Yep.
Watching it, and then if you record it, and then the next day like you're gonna go watch it, you end up just fast forwarding through it, because like you fast forward through the adverts, and then you start thinking, I could just watch this match and fast forward, and then next thing you know it's another advert. Oh, skip, put up to 30, and then you're fucking skipping through that. You just end up fast forwarding the whole fucking thing, you know. So I don't know. These adverts, they're not working. People's attention spans have changed, man.
Yeah.
Fucking like we can get YouTube, we can get all this stuff usually advert free.
I remember going to see Velvet Revolver like maybe 5-6 years ago, And I was at the SECC and they had two big screens set up either
Don't
side.
tell me they had fucking adverts.
They did.
No.
See, for like the first 40 minutes you were standing waiting on the first band coming out and stuff, it kept playing Team America. So like they'd be playing like all of this music and then suddenly like the screen would just come on and be like, Team America's fucked up again! And you were like, what? And we watched this so many times. But like during the gig they started using it, like they had like the whole Bruce Lee fighting Chuck Norris kind of thing, and they were showing you things during the gig on the screens, probably for the gig. But the fact that before it started you had to watch adverts promoting Team America.
Imagine they had an advert like in between songs.
Yeah. We'll continue this gig after a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, that could happen. That could fucking... Because this is where it's going now as well. Like, you know, it's kind of good that we don't have to fucking pay for like shitty films, but it's when they start having those intrusive adverts, the ones you can't skip right in the middle of the fucking program, and they're all embedded into the player and stuff. I mean, it could end up happening where it's like they realise, oh yeah, advertising, that's the way to go.
Apparently they do it on the Kindle Fire as well, though.
Oh yeah?
Amazon have embedded adverts into certain books. I think it's like
my days.
I think it's like big Prime books. So when you're playing it on the Kindle Fire,
That's fucking
it
horrible.
skips. And I don't know if it's like a video advert, but I don't know if like halfway through the book it suddenly like brings up one page
That's
advertising
annoying.
whatever book or the series of the book you're reading, and then you've got to skip the page. To
See, that's
continue the
annoying
book.
because you've paid for the device, you've
Yeah.
paid for the book, apparently,
Yeah.
and like you're still getting the fucking advert. That's a bit annoying.
That's ridiculous.
But I wonder as well, like, I mean, people are. I think people, because of that skip button as well, I think people are just becoming fucking immune to these adverts. Like, you almost just zone out. If an advert comes on, you just fucking zone out. You don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah,
Like, there's a
so,
lot
like-
of times if I'm watching telly and the adverts come on, I'm like, well, I'll fucking just like play a game on my phone for like 5
Yeah, yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
or just like fucking look at Facebook or like look at Reddit or something
Yeah.
like that. Do you know what I mean?
So I wonder, like, how much money are the fucking companies even making from the adverts? And
How
what
much do they fucking spend? Like
Yeah.
an advert to get on TV
And
is
this is it.
unreal.
What will happen is, I'd hope anyway, is that fucking they realise they're not making a huge amount of money. Here's a fucking statistic for you. Gonna blow your mind with this one. Coca-Cola spends more money annually, or however you want to calculate it, on advertising than they spend on producing Coca-Cola. They spend more money on trying to sell the product than they spend on the fucking product.
That's so fucking backwards, eh?
That's
That's
nuts.
ridiculous.
Like,
The thing is, well, every Christmas they play the same advert that they've been playing for the last 25 years.
yeah.
But then they only play that, Ryan, because when you see that advert, you know that it's Christmas
Exactly.
time.
And it works. I mean,
Holidays
as soon
are
as you do
coming.
holidays,
Holidays. No, we'll get fucking sued.
Remember I was talking about a barbershop quartet, Sam? Fucking one more guy and we're there.
No, that's true. That's true. And he's a better singer than me. I'll say that.
Do you think?
I fucking hope.
I don't think we'll go very far.
But I was going to say, because I was talking about, I watched it. There's a documentary called "Everything Is a Remix," and it's really interesting. I've been interested in this stuff for a while, and it's weird actually because I started thinking about maybe I should put together this documentary saying the same fucking thing. Then I saw this and I was like, oh, excellent. Someone's already done it. I don't have to, you know.
But
So
you could remix that.
I could remix that. I think there is actually a remix of that, but anyway.
You could do the hardcore house version of it, Sam.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I could go into fucking...
Backwards.
But the thing about it is that what it's saying is everything's a remix. It's not just talking about music. It's going into like fucking... I'm not good with music, so I can't really give you the good examples of it. You go watch the film, Everything Is a Remix. It's really good. And what it is it's showing you that just about everything around you, I would argue everything around you, is a product copied, slightly altered from something else. And it was going into fucking it started off with music, and it was going into like Led Zeppelin, and like so many of their tracks off their first album were just complete fucking rip-offs. Now what you'd have today is you would have, oh, this is like a tribute or a cover, you know. It wouldn't necessarily be a cover because they changed some of the lyrics, but it'd be like Kid Rock with his All Summer Long.
Yeah.
It's like fucking people think it's a rip-off, like he just stolen that fucking the chorus from Sweet Home Alabama.
Sad but true. He's a whole American badass.
Yeah, no, the thing is as well, no, that they said the same thing. What the fuck was that?
What was that? That sounded like Skype or something.
Yeah, We're getting some messages here. Don't do it again.
Read them, Sam.
I don't know if I'll be about this.
How's it if you've been behind the scenes, Ryan?
Sorry, give me a minute.
It's totally different because obviously you can only see it from up there. So, like when Sam's doing stuff, you don't actually know what he's doing on. Like, is it a laptop or...
So it's saying, and the Sky Plus box allows people to record everything they want, and once it's watched within a week, the rating is registered, and the Sky can claim to advertisers that lots more people are watching, so they can charge more, though people are just fast forwarding. Yeah, that's it. So if you record something, he's saying that the Skybox will send that as being like, this is something that people are interested in or whatever, you know. And it registers, as he's saying, that it's registered as these adverts have been good adverts or paid off adverts, but people are just fucking fast forwarding them because it's recorded, so they're not even fucking watching them.
They do that in America though, like with their TV ratings. Like they have like their two sets. They have the who watched it live and who TiVo'd it.
Alright.
So like, they know like how many people watched it live and how many people TiVo'd it, so they kind of know where their peak audience is.
Yeah. That's a fucking crazy thing as well, though, because it's not a true. This is the wrong word, but it's not a true democracy, you know. But it's like not every fucking TV is sending the signal. Maybe we've got the skyboxes, but like in America, you have to be. Well, I'm basing these facts off of an episode of Family Guy, but but basically, you have to be selected as like a viewer that counts. You know, whatever you're watching counts, goes into the pool of this is what people are watching, kind of thing. So it's not even a true fucking representation of what people are actually watching.
But then, do you need to watch something the whole way through? Do you know, like how they say, like, oh, Sherlock or something's got so many million viewing figures? Like, do you need to watch like a full episode, half an episode? Does that count?
There could be people
I
just.
would think you would do.
Or just flick on it for 2 seconds. Does that count?
Say you bought WrestleMania on Sky Plus, and you recorded it. Sky don't charge you unless you watch it. So you could book it for $19.99 or whatever, and it's not until you watch it that they'll bill you for it.
Wouldn't they bill you anyway? But you could phone up and say.
No, well, they'd credit you back. They probably would bill you, but then the same bill you'd have a credit. Like, so they'd maybe.
But
take
what if you even
$99
just clicked play and watched like a second of it?
Then it probably counts as you watching it.
So if you set it to record, and they billed you, and then but you ended up having to go out that night.
Yep.
And you could phone them up and say, I didn't watch it. I've not touched it. It's not live anymore, so I don't want to watch it.
I think I don't know if to tell you, because like I always do it for the red button, but I don't know if to tell you that like if you book it, you must watch it before you're charged for it.
Oh, right.
I know, like excuse me.
That's interesting.
I know, like when I worked there, you didn't really deal with that so much. It was more like men phoning.
You're an insider. You've got inside information here. People don't know this. Tell the people.
No, like your Skybox obviously does everything. You can go on the iPad now and you can set up your Sky account. You can see what's on your box.
That's funny.
You can control the box using your iPad and using your iPhone.
One of my friends fucking on Facebook, they're like, you know, prior he's away, wherever he is in fucking Africa or some shit. Sorry, he doesn't mind.
Nigeria. That's the last place I heard he was going.
And like his wife is like fucking going on Facebook saying like he's in a different country and he keeps setting shit to record on the fucking planner and fucking stuff's clashing and
Aye, but she can delete it.
Yeah, but then he could just set it to record again.
Aye, but then it records and she can delete it.
No, but now you've got the ability to reinstall what's been deleted.
Oh,
off
fucking
your
hell.
boxes. So you
Nothing
can delete
is
something by
safe.
mistake and you can go back onto the box and reinstall it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that because fucking. Oh god, that's a boring story. I won't go into that. But,
I like how you thought about that there and you were like,
I'll go back to the because people will probably be like, oh, he was talking about everything's a remix, and then he switched. Yeah, everything is a remix, right? So it was going into like Led Zeppelin, how like all these songs are fucking directly taken from other things, and you will have like you were talking about Kid Rock and Metallica.
Yeah.
People said the same thing. Like my stepdad, he listened to All Summer Long, and fucking hated it because it was like he's ripping off like Leonard Skinner. And he's saying like he's just ripping off that chorus is from Sweet Home Alabama.
Well, he's not though. He's kind of.
Well, this is the thing.
He's kind of
like,
bigging him up.
I've as sad as I am, I've listened to Kid Rock since I was like 14 or something, right?
Same here.
And like I know Kid Rock is a fucking huge Leonard Skinner fan. and he comes from rap as well, where they sample everything. That's what this remix thing's talking about. Like, they take everything, you know. So it's almost like, in Kid Rock's eyes at least, like, although he's not rapping now he's moved into like singing. He's fucking playing homage to them. He's playing tribute to them, you know.
Yep.
And it's almost like it's here's Sweet Home Alabama, but I'm going to do just a different a revamp of it kind of thing. And people are taking it the fucking wrong way of, oh no, he's just ripping it off. Now, I remember I had a friend who told me this story about Kid Rock and Metallica having a fallout over Kid Rock using their thing. And I'm like, there's a fucking video on YouTube
Of Lars Ulrich. Playing with him.
Metallica's playing and Kid Rock's fucking, you know, doing it. He's not ripping, like, and Metallica of all fucking bands, you know, for getting ripped off. Like, it's clear that they were doing the backing track to one of his songs, you know. But of course, a lot of people do have a fucking problem with it, and it's like blah blah blah. Like, you know, you shouldn't rip off, it's plagiarism and all that stuff. But you look into it, and everything's fucking plagiarized to a degree. Like, you know, Walt Disney, all the Disney films, they're all the Brothers Grimm's stories, most of them. Fucking Lion King. If you're a fan of Lion King, do you know about this? They plagiarized the Lion King plagiarism.
No.
There's a fucking I don't know if it was Japanese or Chinese or whatever it was, animation thing called I think it's called Kimba, right? So you've got Simba, Kimba, right? Now, it's not just the name, folks. You look into fucking Kimba the Lion or whatever it's called. Kimba Disney Lion King ripoff. And this thing is fucking sheer lifted. It's the exact fucking story. Near enough.
Yeah.
All the key moments, all the key characters. Kimba fucking, you know, looks like Simba, just he's white. Kimba the White Lion, I think it might be called. And it's just a complete fucking ripoff. You know? Now, I don't have a problem with it because I don't believe there is such a thing as like sitting down and just mentally creativity comes to you and you can just invent all kinds of shit. Like Jacques Fresco says this about fucking meditating. You know, meditating will do nothing other than you can reflect on thoughts that you already have, but you can't add any fucking new information. The only way you add new information is through experience and stuff like that.
Is this about your whole thing about like nothing is original?
Well, yeah, kinda. I mean, nothing is original, really.
But what about my film idea, Sam?
What's your film idea?
I don't want to tell it in the podcast because it's so amazing. I've told you it before. I told Bennett as well. It's fucking amazing, but I genuinely think it's original.
I would say that all the moments of the film, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if have you told me about this before?
Yeah, I have definitely.
I've forgotten.
Alright,
shows you how fucking original it is.
Right, well I tell you then.
I don't know if you want to ruin it for all your fans. Plus, I mean, like the other thing as well is if you say it and then I'm not able to fucking dissect it, it might come across as like shooting down my argument. I'm not saying that I can look at fucking everything that happens and say this is where this came from.
Because then you would have to know everything that happens.
Yeah,
you would just need to take my word it is very original, Sam.
Right, I'll take your word until
I can tell you after.
Yeah.
See, I came across this thing the other day. It was about hidden messages in Disney films. Like apparently there's loads of them. And one of them, like the number A311.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
appears hundreds of times in so many movies. Like it's in Cars, it's on a registration plate, it's on one of the planes. Now it's like A311 or something. It's on the registration plate in Cars. It's on the plane in Planes.
I think it's A113. I could be wrong.
It might be A113 then. Maybe I know it's.
I could be wrong.
Though.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "What does it mean?" Like, because it's not just Disney. It's in like
Pixar
films and things like that. And
anything animated, it crops up.
Dreamscape, and they finally worked out that it was the building or the room number that
there was like a animation school that all these animators went to. They all passed through it. So whoever did it first, whoever like they needed a number, they needed a license plate or whatever. So they paid homage to it, and they wrote the classroom was A113 or A311.
But what they've started doing is they've started hiding it as well, because like in Tangled,
see, there's
like a bit where it's on like the skirting at the top of the door that you would never ever see.
Yeah,
someone zoomed in and it looks like someone scratched it in with a key. But you can't even see it.
Yeah,
it's just.
But this is the thing. There's a really fucking logical explanation for that. Yet you will get some people that look into stuff like that and say this is Illuminati code.
See, I thought you were talking about like fucking totally different Nazi stuff, Disney stuff.
Like the My Little Mermaid.
Whoa! My mind is like fucking right. Disney, Nazis. And there's a Nazi Disney connection as well. But I was thinking about the fucking, like, there's that thing in the Little Mermaid, and like they're getting married on a boat, and like the guy that's marrying them, like the priest or the bishop or the minister or whatever, he's got a boner.
like an erection. I mean, I
Like,
don't
that's
know.
what I was thinking about, like the wee fucking slights like that in it. That's what I thought you were talking about.
There's two things with Eliminator.
The
The
Mermaid
castle.
as well has got like a dick. One
Yeah.
of the towers is
Aye.
a penis. And
But the thing is, right, that my first guess for that would be, well, I'd have two kind of guesses. And my first guess would probably, is that really there, or am I just kind of seeing that? Is that just playing
He's
a
got a
trick on me?
boner, Sam. I'm pretty
Right.
sure he's got a boner.
The second,
I know what a boner looks like.
the second guess would be,
Had one before.
just once.
but the second guess would be the animators.
There's beer here, guys, if you want it.
Yeah, I'm driving, so I'm out.
Yeah, I'll maybe have one. But yeah, the animators are just fucking around. They're just having a laugh, you know. Because if you were an animator and like, you know, hey, get this, I'm gonna fucking draw a dick in here. This is gonna be hilarious. No one's even gonna fucking see it.
They're
That's
all talking about it in the break room and that, like, fucking Darnell drew a fucking dick on his nose. His nose is a dick.
and then they all go back and Darnell, you sneaky motherfucker. Now, but people look into that as going like, Disney's trying to fucking indoctrinate your children and all this shit. But whereas it's just fucking a couple of guys, and it's a really simple explanation in my mind anyway.
Do you want some head on your beer?
I usually do a good job.
Oh yeah, you fucking talking shit about me when I do
Talking
it.
about boners, and now he's got this massive head.
Bonerific.
Exactly.
Actually, do you know what, right, because this is a good segue here. Fucking we're talking about
A segue to what?
a segue. I'm getting to that. I'll show you. I'll just follow me, Paul. We'll get there.
I hope you don't show me, Sam.
I'll show you, just not physically. So because the subject here, there's like fucking the people see this stuff in the Disney thing and think it's it's like, it's almost like a conspiracy where people are getting together to try and, even the fucking Lion King. It's in the Lion King. Oh, it spells out SEX.
Mm-hmm.
But then
On the clouds and that,
yeah,
aye.
it's like he flumps down and there's like all this dust comes up and it spells like SEX.
And the monkey has a boner.
But the thing is, if you look at it, and the argument is, it doesn't spell SEX. It's SFX? Yeah, special effects.
Mhm.
And it's just the design team saying, yeah, it's special effects, SFX, whatever. You know, so there's a combination of people fucking around having a laugh, you know, at the expense. The thing is, if you were doing a fucking movie and it was something like animation where you can control all these little slight things, and people do it with
2 seconds.
yeah, put the headphones on if you want, Ryan.
Sorry, I'm going to put that in the beer. That's fucking I'm going to put it in the fridge. It's fucking disgusting.
I'm going to put that in the beer.
I'm going to put that bitch in the beer.
So there's a combination. I think there's two things. There's people fucking around and having a laugh, you know. And if you were in charge of if you're in charge of a movie where it's a live action movie, you can't really slip a dick in there without people noticing. I mean, fucking, I think Teen Wolf did it, but like, you know, it's difficult, you know.
Back to the Future tried it.
Yeah. Point. He was like, should I take this out? But if you're part of the animation team and you can slip something in, and you'd fucking do it because it's a laugh. And then only in hindsight you think, oh wait, yeah, this is going out to kids. Maybe we shouldn't have done that, you know. And there's a whole subliminal thing. But I think there's a really logical fucking explanation to it. But what I was going to say is this segues into, because we're talking about like appropriate viewing for fucking children. I seen this thing today and it sort of surfaced. I don't know how viral it is, but you know, it was getting shared around and I saw it. And I was a bit fucking disturbed by it, to be honest. And what it is it's Spider-Man shows up in a park, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these kids. Have you seen this?
I think, well, maybe have I.
So it's like, it's really amateurish, right? The video is really amateurish, but they've got a presenter there, so he's presenting it, and it's almost like he's trying to make it look like it's bigger than it fucking is and whatever. And he's like, today we're here in the park. We learned that this kid is going to be here, and we got in contact with his family and all this stuff, and talking about how
Was it like a Make-A-Wish kind of...
this is what he's like presenting as this big thing. It's not. It's just a couple of guys with a camera fucking dicking about, right? But so it's not even like a big video. They kind of get away with presenting themselves as being like this big thing that they do. Oh yeah, we're gonna really make this kid's day, you know. And so what they do is they go to the park and they're filming them. And the kid's kind of oblivious, And then the guy comes up and he says, "Hey, we're looking for Spider-Man. We heard he's like running around." And the kid's kind of like, "Whatever." And then look off in the distance and there's Spider-Man. And it's like, there's there. And the kid's like going up and the kid's like in shock. "Oh my god, it's Spider-Man, right?" Spider-Man comes over and he's like, "Hey buddy," and he's like, "Come down." He's like, "Do you know who I am?" And the kid's like, "Spider-Man." I don't know why I did that like that.
It was good, Sam. I made me believe that a bit more.
Spider-Man.
It made me forget it. I like Toitos.
That wee genius. But so that's all fair enough. It's all like going good, it's all like, the kid likes Spider-Man and all that. Then Spider-Man's like, fucking, "I need your help." Now these kids are young. They're like 6 and 7. They're like fucking tiny. Maybe even younger than that. I don't know. They're small. And
That's a good way to define their age. They are small.
they are fucking small. I don't know. I can't really look at kids in the term age, but so then he's like, "I need your help," and he turned around and here comes Venom, right?
Oh shit!
Right? Yeah. So you're like, "All right, here's Venom. What's gonna happen here?" And
He
then
would fucking tank some 6-year-olds. He would surely like be able to kill them or something.
well, what happens is like the kids run over, and then Spider-Man starts like fighting with Venom, the guy in the costume's Venom, gets him down on the ground, and then turns to the kid and he's like, "Come on, help me," kick him and everything. And the kid's going up and like fucking kicking this guy in the suit and everything. Now, obviously the kid's not hurting him. That's not the point. The point is, though, I'm watching this and I'm like, you're fucking teaching children that that's how there's such a thing as evil, there's such a thing as like bad guys, and how you deal with them is you fucking kick them when they're down, no less, right? And I'm watching this, I'm like, this is fucking horrific.
Right.
This is like really, really fucking bad form of indoctrination. Now, maybe I'm being over fucking dramatic about it, but I was horrified with this, and I thought, surely the comments will reflect this. And I'm looking down, and it's got so many likes, and everyone's like, "How cute," and fucking, "Oh, that's really nice," and everything. Like, the fuck are you talking about? You've just taught your child that there is such a thing in real life as bad guys. So when they go to school and someone steals a pencil, and they think, "That's a bad guy," what are they going to do? They're going to go over and fucking hit him. And then you're left there going like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that." What would Spider-Man do?
Spider-Man would fucking
Spider-Man
beat the
would
shit
fuck
out
him
of
up, like, So yeah, I was thinking about that this week, and fucking that really bothers me. But I don't know. You're a dad. I'm not a dad.
That's what I was gonna say,
Am I
like,
seeing something that you don't?
On the dad subject, like not on the Spider-Man subject, but like your wee ones obviously watch like Peppa Pig and all that kind of stuff, right?
Well, they're kind of evolved now, either now.
They've
Jake and the
evolved.
Neverland Pirates.
Right, well, I'm not quite there yet, but this guy fucking is like, this is fucking, these guys are idiots, and like, they are idiots, right, because they're all animals, right, and they've got a doctor, but the doctor's a vet, but they also have a vet that they can take their pets to, which is fucking weird as well, and I'm like,
hate her voice
what
as well.
qualifies as a pet in that world when they're all animals?
Yeah.
A fish is the only one that I've seen.
Come down, Tiddles.
Fucking annoying.
And that was a fucking tortoise that was up the tree.
Yeah.
Like,
Climbing trees again.
Like, yeah. Tortoises can't climb. Like, it would have taken fucking months to get up there. She said she lost it 5 seconds ago. Like,
No, I'll tell you, right. Alright, so
but then where does it fucking end? The programme is ape shit. Like, it is mental.
we watched something, it was like the top 50 kids programs or something, and it totally ruined it for us, because at one point during the interview they were talking about, like, I think Peppa Pig was #1 or something,
Right.
and it gave you an interview with like Morwena Banks, who plays like Mrs. Rabbit and things like that, and then like it showed you the guy that plays Daddy Pig, and like he's just like sitting there and he's like, "I remember when I used to watch it," and like he's laughing and stuff, and it's like, this guy's just doing the voice because that's how he talks. Like,
Aye.
but like, say like Emily had came through or something and she was watching the TV and she's like, "He sounds like Daddy Pig." Do you think I'm going to turn in and go, "That is Daddy Pig"? She'd be like, "No, it's no."
Oh yeah, that'd fuck
Like,
our world up.
There was one day we were watching,
And in
like,
fact, you can't let her watch this now because you've just
I never
revealed
let her
all.
see it, Ryan, because then,
I
then
think
you know.
after like 5 seconds when Sam's like, "So fucking," that kind of moves out the whole "let's make her watch."
No, wait a minute. I'm going to defend that here
She's like, "I'm
because
going to watch you on the TV, Daddy." Okay.
this is another fucking bullshit thing as well. The idea that fucking words are magic.
Nah, I know.
Right? Yeah, words. There's such a thing as these magic words, where words you can't say, and then certain words are fucking. We had our nephew around the other day, and
Sam, you need to tell the story about the wagon wheels.
Rock me, mama.
oh yeah.
I love that story.
I'll tell this just on the cuff of this. So we had a nephew around the other day. Hazel said something like, "Oh my god," and he was like, he stopped and he goes, "What did you just say?" And she's like, "I said, oh my god." He goes, "That's a bad word." And it's like, okay, I mean it's not, but it's strange that like they even have the notion of a word can be said regardless of the context, and it stops them and it goes, "What was that I heard? Because I need to listen out for the exact fucking frequency of what you just said, because that's saying something down my and it's like, it's a fucking word." And I don't know, I just like you look into the fucking origins of swear words and how it evolved, and to be funny, it's kind of weird actually, because God is kind of the first swear word, right? And so it's weird how like he said that's a bad word, and of course in our fucking society it's not. Like you're not going to get in trouble for saying God. Maybe he's got a friend at school who's like religious and was taught that was a bad word or whatever, but it's funny how you look into it, like the whole idea of magic words. It's all to do with words that you can and can't say in prayer and all that stuff, and how it's evolved. And now we've got the society where, at least in Scotland, there's not too many people that are religious, and it doesn't dominate.
No.
Yet we've got this fucking idea of you can't say certain words in front of children.
Do you know what bad word I was confused by?
What's that?
Right.
Cunt.
Cunt. Like,
Oh my god, I was joking, but okay.
no, like seriously, like I don't understand why. Like I don't mean this like. Fuck it, right? Because some people are going to be like, that is a bad word.
I can see
But
your
why
point, though.
is it a bad word? Because you can call like a penis like a dick or a willy or a cock or whatever, and they would all, as somebody says like you're a dick, you're a willy, you're a cock, they would all register to me on the same level. But like saying fanny around a woman would be like, oh no, or whatever. But then as soon as you say cunt, they're like, the C word, oh fucking thank you very much. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's almost like they want something.
It's always the same though. Like, if I was to say you're a cunt, like,
But like,
then you say that though, and people are like, I can't believe you just said that. Now, see if I hurt myself, I was, oh you cunt, like that. But that's acceptable.
Yeah, they probably
Like,
do.
why is it
I've
so
hurt myself
bad?
and going, oh you cunt, and folk are like, yeah, that's cool. But if I go, you're a cunt, they're like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
But it's like it's just like a word that's like fuck or shit or fucking dick or cock or whatever. Like it's just like cunt. Like it's another word, but for some reason it's like that is the word that you cannot fucking say on telly or
But I just think there's always a fucking word that, from generation to generation, that is the taboo word, because it's almost like they need something to get fucking excited about.
But do you know what? Do you want me to tell you like the origin of the word cunt?
Go for it, yeah.
Because I know it.
It's cunt, the German word, ain't it?
Well, I heard a different origin. Right.
Oh fuck.
So we're going to have fucking going
Right,
head
get
to
out of the fucking
Fucking Nazis.
etymology dictionary.
Maybe it could be the same thing, Ryan. It's just like being made into like an English kind of one. But like basically, like when lumberjacks were cutting down trees, right? Like say a branch or something gets broke off a tree, or like there's an injury in the tree, and like the skin grows back on the tree. Right, I'm doing it. There's a tree over here, right?
Right, for the people, they can't see you because you're
Can you see the tree? It's
you
next
need
to
to be
my
facing
head.
more this way.
Aye, but it's here.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, then you need to move.
But the tree's still there.
It doesn't move.
The tree does
I was
not
moving
move.
around the tree.
The tree's fucking planted, Sam, right? So, like, say, like, the branch gets broke off a tree, and you see all the time, like, knots in wood, right?
What's in wood?
Knots. Like, a knot
What's
in
not?
a knot in wood.
What's not?
No, it's not.
Right, sorry, go on.
Right, so you know what I mean, like a knot in wood. That comes from where, like, at some point, a branch is being broken off, or something,
I always get knots when I
this
get wood.
fucking
No, it's-
hell.
Sorry.
Don't
I'm
get me started on
trying,
movies.
Sam. This is the only thing that, like, of all the episodes, of all the triciest thing that I've tell you about, and you're like, I know,
Sorry, dude.
and we just talk about it. I'm like, I know where cunt came from.
Right.
And you're like,
Doesn't come for a branch gets snapped.
Sorry.
I do not know
Sorry,
that.
dude. Sorry, go on.
Just because it's your
Right,
fucking
yeah,
birthday.
so there's the knots in the wood.
Right, so knots in the wood, right, and like that obviously grows over, right. You see, like that's a fucking knot, and that's a knot.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Eh?
Not
Right.
so where the tree's been fed.
What?
When a tree grows, it starts off as one. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I learned this at college because I did woodwork, right? Like I did furniture restoration. Sorry, your story's
Right.
probably right, but it's not a knot. A knot is like when a tree grows every year because it gets fed through the roots. It creates like
New
bubbles.
bits.
So what happens is like if you've got like beech, that's a very porous wood.
Is it kind of like a varicose vein?
No, it's just like it's like a sponge. Like it's how the tree's
Can
being
we,
fed.
can we talk about
And
cunts
then-
again, please?
Yes, and then it gets a hard root.
Right.
Ashley's
right.
going to be killing herself because I've just spoke about trees, but yeah, a knot is where the tree's gained.
Right. But you know what a knot in wood is? It's like the wee round bit in the tree, like
Aye,
whether
that's
it's
a
like
knot.
a. yeah,
Fucking hell. Is it a cunt or is it a knot? What's going on?
no, right. The word cunt, right, comes from like maybe it is the German word, but like
I think I know.
when
He
the-
couldn't chop through it and
Aye,
he was
they could-
cunted.
It was no. It was
This
the
sauce
word
cunted.
for it. Maybe it was a German thing, but like. It's cunted.
He was cunted. I was like,
It's
I
you
can't get through
take
it.
a, it's
I've
like
been trying for hours, man. I'm still cunted.
It's like when you fucking take a car into a garage and you're like, what's wrong? He's like, it's fucked. It's fucked. I worked in a garage one time. I was like, what's like? I was there to learn, right? I was there to learn about cars and that. I was like, what is wrong with it? He's like, it's fucked. I was like,
You're
but
like, you
like,
need a new
that doesn't
clutch.
fucking like. I'm here to learn. It's fucked.
You just need a new clutch, pal.
It's fucked. It's
Cunted.
fucked.
It's fucked.
It's cunted. It's fucked. 500 quid. It'll fix that.
So what was
So-
the cunt?
The cunt. Right, these bits in the wood were really hard to saw through, so it was called a cunt, and that's why it was so bad because like, oh no, a cunt, and that's what it was. Like they were like, cause if they had to cut
Oh,
through
so
the
that's-
cunt,
it's like the technical
it
name
was
for
hard
it, and
to, it was hard to saw through it.
And so whenever they found a cunt, it was fuck. It's a
Aye,
cunt.
aye. So that's
you.
how it became a bad thing. But somehow it's like the fucking worst word in the world. I don't know why.
Because it's a cunt.
It's a cunt. It's just fuck.
It's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. If that's your job, fucking, that's the worst thing ever.
Is
That
it
is just
ironic
translate.
though that the word cunt formed from wood? When you think about it, you need to take.
Oh.
It's maybe a
Say
name.
it again?
Well, like Paul's talking about how like the word cunt derived from like trees, obviously being made of wood, and then people would argue that you could call your dick wood.
That's where that
Pretty
came
ironic.
from.
So
I quite like etymology and
I've got
the,
wood because you've got a cunt.
The fucking. I quite
But
like.
then that puts a cunt as a bad thing. And then, like you hear some things like see if you're work, like you maybe know because you're working like.
with woodwork hates. I was about to say a cunt. Hates a knot.
But then like you know that like you know yourself Ryan, like you work in like a warehouse and like if like you work with the manly men and that and they're like you're a fanny and then somebody else will go. He can't be a fanny. A fanny's a useless thing. Oh no, a fanny's a useful thing. Fucking up again.
Paul's just fell at the closet slightly. It's fucking useless. Oh, I mean, sorry.
Now wood. That's another fucking story.
I actually learned. Well, not learned. I sort of just what's the word? Discovered, I guess. Like I was watching a film. There's a film that's called Agora, right? And it's I was watching it because it's like I was watching this talk and stuff, and it was talking about it, and it was saying how it got banned in America because of the way it depicts Christians. But it's like a big budget movie and everything like that. So I was like, fucking Agora, okay. So it turns out it was in this sort of city. It was this city in Greece, ancient Greece, and the place was called Agora, and it was like this meant like it translates to a place of meeting, a place where everyone congregates, and it sort of dawned on me. It was like agoraphobia. That's where that comes from. That fucking makes sense, you know. So just hear Hazel laughing there.
You're laughing.
He's just laughing away.
But,
We almost hit a nerve.
But yeah, the fucking there's so much. I used to know a bit more, but I've probably forgotten more
Going
about
back
it.
to the words though, like
Well,
in Christianity, it's like a sin to say God's sake or Jesus Christ,
Aye.
and then like in some like Muhammad, it's illegal to draw Muhammad, like to try and depict what he looks like. So you can
I've
talk
heard
about
that as
Muhammad,
well, aye.
but if you were to try and draw a picture and like draw a big whatever and say this is Muhammad, like over there you can get like total lashes of the whip and
yeah,
stuff
they'd
for
probably
it.
lash as well though if he spoke ill of them.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
if, like you're not really
Oh,
speaking
wait.
ill.
the cunt thing as well, the reason why that became towards a woman's genitalia is because the shape of it. Like, that's what I'm saying about, like, a bit of wood broke off a tree.
'Cause it looks like
make
the
that.
awning.
Aye,
Yeah.
that's it. Sorry. But on you go, Ryan. I had to round off that story.
No, but that's like they have to draw Muhammad Day. So like, is that the only day where like in their calendar they're allowed to try and depict what Muhammad looks like?
No, they don't have Draw Muhammad Day.
Alright, so everybody else has it.
Draw Muhammad
taking the
Day.
piss.
I don't know who initially founded it, but I discovered it through a YouTuber called Thunderfoot.
Right.
I don't know if he invented it. I think someone else invented it, but he certainly promoted it anyway. So it's a sort of rebellion against this notion of you can't draw Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were in Turkey, and of course I took part in it. You know, I'm like fucking rebel, fight the system, fight this bullshit fucking ideology. I'll take part in Draw Muhammad Day. So I drew a picture of Muhammad and I had him as my profile picture on Facebook because I was like, I was fucking riding this thing out. I was like, fuck you, world. And we went to Turkey and we were in the reception because we had to check out really early. So we went and our fucking our jeep back to the airport wasn't for like until 12 o'clock that fucking night. So we were in the reception all day with the receptionist, and we ended up talking to him and like, you know, chatting with him and getting to know him and all that stuff. And then he's like, so are you guys on Facebook? And I just remember, I'm like, oh, I've got the fucking picture of Muhammad as my cover.
Right.
Peace be upon him.
So Hazel's going, yeah, and I'm like under the table kicking her like X-nay on the Draw Muhammad nay. Fucking. So, but yeah, so I think he managed to find Hazel, but luckily he couldn't find me. I told him that I must have deleted mine. Yeah, man.
Accidentally.
Lasted 80 minutes, that's good.
I'm doing well, Ryan. I even had a beer before this.
So yeah, I was thinking, fucking hell, man, if this guy sees this picture of Muhammad, we're not leaving here.
And is that like I don't know how the word to say it is, but is that like a Muhammadi country?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's fucking every morning, fucking.
Well, they've got the big towers and
5
that and
o'clock
all
in the
that.
morning. Fucking. Shut up. The fucking. This is. I heard a brilliant thing the other day. This is credit to my breast friend. Say that again on purpose that time.
Right.
Because he was showing me there's these new airplanes where they have. Like it's a beyond the first class. It's like I think it's called a resident class.
Right.
And these planes
Yeah.
have, they're fucking gorgeous. It's like you've got like, you know, in your own little compartment. You know, I think it's like 20,000 or whatever to go anywhere on them. $20,000, so it's a lot of money. You know. It's only the richest of the rich, but you've got a fucking double bed, you've got a shower, you've got like a sofa bit with a fucking TV and all that stuff. It's like total as luxury as you can get. One of the things they have is an area where they've got a prayer mat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the prayer mat has this thing built into it, like a compass kind of system built into it, so that it rotates. So that wherever you are, it always faces Mecca.
Aye, because they need to have
Yeah, so I was like, that's a bit fucking extreme,
That's a
just
big
to
leap.
satisfy whatever. My friend says to me, and he's fucking right. He goes, "But the world's round. Whatever way you face, you're eventually facing Mecca."
That's true.
And I thought that's fucking brilliant.
That is true.
What do you think of that, Ryan?
Tell Ryan that story.
We're talking about. I don't want to repeat it because people just heard it. But in this plane, they have these prayer mats, right, that are hooked up to this compass system, so that wherever you are, it rotates and you're always facing Mecca.
Yep.
Right. My friend says to me, "The world's round, so no matter what direction you face in, eventually you're facing Mecca.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fucking matter."
Yep.
True.
There's another thing about that as well. They dug up like really like the earliest mosques that they could find, and they're not all the way that it's positioned for prayer is not facing Mecca. So that was a later thing that was added. The whole idea that you need to face Mecca when you're praying.
Aye.
That was like a later thing, proven to be like added later. So
It seems fucking silly. Like I know there's like in Stirling, there's a there's like some kind of temple or whatever. I'm
mosque.
not exactly sure where it is, a mosque, aye. But like the fucking temple sitting at the side of the road, and then there's obviously a hall in this room that's a fucking square building. So like, say the square's like my phone there, right? And then fucking that's like that way, the road's that way, and fucking where is it they're facing?
Mecca.
Mecca's over here. So are they all fucking sitting squinting in the room at an angle? Or would they not just use it the normal way that they would sit in a fucking room facing forward?
Yeah.
I think they always build the building so that one wall faces. I'm sorry. I think they always build the building so that one wall faces Mecca, and that'll be like where they'll have the depiction of
Kim Jong Un and Kim Jong Il.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The other thing as well that speaking of religions this week, there was a big news story this week, guys. The Subway story.
Just you guys keep on.
The Subway story about the pork. Have you heard about this, Ryan?
Oh, I just read one about some pizza place apparently duping people because they're like using halal meat, but they're not actually telling people they're using halal. It's
Aye.
Pizza Express or something like that. But
Well, like anybody can obviously like can eat halal meat, but like the Subway thing is basically saying that they're converting out all their meat to halal meat. I think it's only like they're only putting out in so many stores though, like 200 stores are putting all their meat to halal meat. But the big but is that they're taking pork off the menu.
Right.
Because people can't eat it because of religion. And then you're like, well, you're catering for a minority and taking pork off the menu, so they can eat it.
Yeah,
but then you're discriminating against the majority because now they like if you fucking want to go into that shop for a bacon roll in the morning, you can't get a bacon roll. You need to get a fucking turkey rasher roll or something like that.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? If that's what Subway are going to do, if they're going to go ahead with that,
Aye.
then the best way of reacting is to say, oh well, guess what? Now no one goes to
Now
Subway.
we're not going to Subway.
Yeah.
But like apparently, like the way that they came about this is they put out a questionnaire or something about would you eat in Subway. They put it to like Muslim religions and all that kind of stuff. If they would go to Subway, and they're like, well, no, because they don't like use halal meat and they serve pork. But like, right, fucking fair enough. Like it's one thing change it to halal meat so you can eat there. But it's another thing taking pork right off the menu. Like, what about a fucking turkey sub and a turkey club and all, and a turkey sub and a turkey club, like a, do you know, like a club sandwich and like a club melt and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, there are areas though.
That's like, I think that's like I'm not like.
No, there are areas though where it's predominantly Muslim.
Yeah.
So in those areas, you might argue, well, they're the majority in that area. But then if it's just majority fucking rule, then what happens?
But then, like, if, like, can you not fucking keep bacon somewhere else? Like, bacon doesn't need to be in the same container as, like, whatever you want. Like, these people would never have the... Like, a big thing that I was thinking about was it as, like, a bacon roll, like, in the morning. Like, some people like, oh, I want a bacon roll in the morning, or, like, a fucking rolling sausage or something like that. Like, these people that don't eat pork in any way, they would never fucking wake up and be like, bacon roll. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
why take it completely off the menu for it? It's silly.
Because they're fucking, I don't know. They
Bent over backwards for
yeah,
no reason.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just bending over backwards.
I think it's, like, there's a difference obviously between halal and kosher. One of them's how it's killed. The other one's that it's blessed before it's put out. But apparently, I don't know if it's Jews are obviously kosher. I don't know if they don't eat halal because they don't agree with the way it's killed, or if it's halal doesn't agree with kosher because it's whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're both still blessed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there's things to do with like halal that you can kind of almost look into like an animal cruelty and stuff like that. Like when I worked in Butchers, like all our butchers were registered halal because so anybody could buy the meat if you know what I mean. But like the way that they kill it is like in just in like a normal butchers or whatever. Like they give the cow like a shot to the head or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, but these, obviously not like, well, like any meat is like a shot to the head, and it's like the most humane way of doing it. It just kills it fucking right there and then. But these ones like stun it and then slit the throat and that, and it has to be alive when the throat's slit.
And they hang upside down.
And they hang upside down. And it's supposed to be like, and they let it kind of essentially bleed out.
Yeah. Well, there's a film called Earthlings, and it shows you because I used to think with the stun thing to the head. I used to think, oh well, at least that's then they're knocked out. There's no suffering involved. That shit doesn't work all the time.
It's funny because I've seen a program on it, and shows you the cow going into the stall and like they're hitting the head like 3 times with the bolt,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
still standing there,
Yeah.
its tongue's hanging out, and it's like swinging
No.
from side to side, and they've hit it like 5 or 6 times,
Yeah.
and it's still just sitting there with its tongue hanging out, and
No, it's fucking. It's horrible.
Didn't put me off burgers, like, but it's
I know
It's horrible to watch.
I mean, that's it. Like, I know some people who have seen Earthlings and became vegetarian because of it,
I've not
and
watched
I
it.
completely understand that. That it is fucking. It's so hard to watch, and after it, you do start thinking, "Fuck this noise. I'm not gonna eat meat anymore." That's a whole other fucking podcast, though. Vegetarianism. We could go on for hours about that. Since we're on the subject of fucking etymology, by the way, if anyone wants to phone in, I guess that's alright. Are you guys alright with that?
Oh, you need to leave the room, Ryan, and go and fucking
That's
go
all
and escape
No, no, no.
somewhere.
I'll be in the net.
Oh shit.
You seem to be getting some internet activity there, Sam.
We got the video sent about the luxury airplane I was talking about. The only thing I'll show you guys later because we can't.
You can't show it.
I can't show it. I can't broadcast that. So from the iPad kind of thing. So don't want to be ignorant, whatever. But
Somebody just asked me if, or I should say, somebody just asked me if we could talk about evolution. But I know that that's a whole different
That's a
podcast,
biggie.
and it's
Well-
a big one for Sam.
I mean I don't mind. But you know what? We'll talk about the evolution of words. Well. No, I don't know. I mean, what specifically do you want to talk about? I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on anything, by the way.
I'll say it's like this is Andre. He's a guy that works beside us. He's Romanian.
Is it
And
Andre
he's-
3000?
Well, it should be because that's what I would have called him, Andre 3000. But he's from Romania and
He, would
He
get
is-
the, he might not get the reference.
he's studying astrophysics, I think.
He's a space
So-
doctor.
Yeah, so he wants something quite scientific and so on. But
Well, it's hard to just start talking about it. You know, I'd need to see the thing that gets me with the evolution discussion is that at least here, vast majority of people accept evolution. So if someone wanted to disagree with it, I'd need to kind of know what their position is because some people flat out disagree with evolution. Some people misunderstand it as being this linear process, and they use arguments like, if evolution is true, why are there still monkeys if we evolved from monkeys? Then there's some people who on religious beliefs will say that there's a difference between macro and micro evolution.
Yep.
And so basically for that, I guess if we talk about that, so microevolution is this idea that there is no such thing as like micro and macro evolution. There's kind of like, you know what they're talking about, but it's all just evolution. There's not like a big jump, but the religious people portray it as being microevolution is one kind evolving into another kind, evolving into the same kind but a different version. So what I mean by that is, and when they say kind as well, it gets all
would that be
it's all
like flu
controversial.
turning into swine flu? Like, you've got a common flu and then it evolves.
I don't know enough about swine flu, the details to know whether or not, but maybe.
Or say the common
Well-
cold turning into flu.
Well, what they mean is like a dog, right? You get loads of different types of dogs.
Yep.
So they're all the same kind of dog, but so this is microevolution. You can have different types within a kind, but they claim that you won't see one species transitioning into another species or another kind, as
Yep.
they like to put it. So that's a big fucking argument in and of itself, you know. And then I guess if you even were to if you come across someone like that, and if you were to try and get them to understand that the macroevolution, there is no microevolution, it's all macro, it's all evolution.
Yep.
If you were to get them to understand that, you might still be left with, but how does evolution work? Is it linear? Are we on a path? Are we going towards something? Which it's not, but this is how a lot of people that I know that do accept evolution, but they see it as being this linear process. And this is another fucking fallacy that people get caught up in.
Yeah, so it's a big topic.
It is. I mean, it's huge. Like I don't know if I've ever met. I don't know if I've ever met anyone that disagreed with evolution, and they turned out to be non-theist. it's almost always because it contradicts what they believe regarding the Bible. And so they may have different ways of trying to pick holes in the theory. And this is another fucking argument you get, yeah, but it's only a theory. It's like, they don't understand, there's a difference between, like, theory is a word that gets used, but there's two different meanings. You know, you have two different meanings for fucking words. You have a fucking casual context of, like, I've got a theory, meaning you've got an idea about how something works. Scientifically, I would be saying, I've got a hypothesis. Right, and that's what you would say in a scientific term.
Aye.
I've got an idea of how something works. That's called a hypothesis. But we don't say that. We say theory. In reality, in scientific terms, a theory is once you've gotten a hypothesis and you've fucking proven it, and it gets peer reviewed, and everyone else fucking says, yeah, that's right. We've conducted the same tests. This hypothesis is true, and there's nothing that knocks it down. Then it gets established as being, okay, well, this now moves from hypothesis into theory, and until someone can disprove it, the theory is strong. So when people say it's just a theory, you're saying just a theory. You're saying it's been through all this fucking, rigorous fucking, and the people that are most critical of the theories when they first come about are the other scientists. It's not like the theory of relativity. It's not the casual fucking common guy that's going to say, I don't know if I buy that. It's going to be the smart fucking people that know all this surrounding this guy fucking astrophysics.
Yep.
Like,
Space author.
yeah, so he'll know what I'm talking about. Like, it's these types of people that are going to criticize, and because they know how to properly criticize it, they know where to look for the holes in the fucking the theory.
Yep.
But once something gets, or the hypothesis, once something gets established as being a theory. And that's the other thing as well. One of the reasons it's called a theory is because it doesn't mean that it's the gospel truth.
Yeah.
It's the best knowledge that we have so far. And this is what I love about fucking science. In order for something to be considered as a theory, it has to be falsifiable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what makes it for me. That's like, it has to be able to be proven wrong.
Right. Okay.
So if I said to you, like, there's a man in the clouds and he controls everything. Oh yeah, and he's invisible. And you can't detect him with anything that we've got. Then there's no way of proving that wrong.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It can't be considered a theory. If there's a way of proving it wrong, then it can be accepted as a theory.
Yeah.
Um,
So then-
and this is the thing with evolution. You could prove evolution wrong if you meet the following criteria of finding a fucking, I mean, I don't know, I'm not too good on the lineage of things, but you find a rabbit fossil or whatever in a certain time period that with everything that we know,
Like, there's
rabbits shouldn't be there.
examples of animals today that have evolved differently than other animals that are the same. Like there was that Darwin's birds.
Mhm.
Like so many different birds on an island, and they all evolved differently. Their beaks for different purposes because of what they used to, and they evolved the same way in the same island. It was just what they ate was different, so they evolved differently.
Yeah.
And like killer whales and that, different lineages of like fucking different ones that hunt in different ways. Like there's ones that knock like seals off of ice floats and stuff like that. Killer whales that slide up onto beaches and take seals. There's fucking seals that killer whales that like eat fish. Like they eat in so many. There's so many different ways, but it's the same animal.
Yeah.
And they've just evolved differently, and like they communicate differently as well. Like the shows of killer whales all communicate. They all have their own language.
Yeah.
And that's evolution as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And that's you can see that.
The thing is as well, it's not like there was, the mammals were created, then the reptiles were created, and whatever. We all go back to one, you can see it on like it's like a family tree and we've all spread out and now we're somehow over here and all these other fucking species are extinct, gone, some of them are still around in some forms and all that stuff, but it can all be drawn back into a fucking single-celled organism, microbacteria. You can see how that works and how you can extrapolate outward to how over long periods of time it could grow and develop. And it's actually like language is a good way of explaining it. How many languages that we have today all go back to Latin, and it wasn't like this fucking. It just cropped up out of nowhere, or it's not like, you know, people just went off in a direction and invented their own languages. It was all derivative, and because it was derivative in different ways, that's why so many words fucking sound similar.
Yeah.
Like you'll have a completely different language, but the word is very, very close. It's because it's derived from.
A lot of our words are similar to German, like thank you and wonderful. It's like Dankeschön and wunderbar and all that kind of stuff. Like it's similar to German.
Yeah.
But then I think German's similar to English, because I think
Ooh.
English existed before German, because English is directly from Latin, whereas German isn't tied into Latin. So I think German derived from.
But you could almost say that like Germany as a country is on the same kind of landmass as where Latin would have came from, whereas we're on a separate landmass. So it would be easier to get to Germany from where Latin would have came from.
I'm getting slightly lost here.
Aye. Either way.
I'll tell you-
Words.
We can never prove
You know,
that argument right now.
Because we've kind of came circle on the talking about going back to languages, there was the thing that I was kind of wanting to get at when we were talking about swear words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the first swear word was God, and that was because when you were swearing an oath, you weren't allowed to take. You know, God's name is Yahweh. This is Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Yeah, the God of the Bible,
Yahweh.
the Old Testament. Yahweh.
God is the
His name's not God. His name's Yahweh.
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 I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm not good at spelling, so I'm not going to attempt that. But Yahweh. Yeah.
Sounds African.
Well, so what it was, and this is all from like writings they found out. This is what the first instance of it was. So, but the thing is, this is, and again, I'm not proclaiming to be an expert on this. This is just from stuff that I've uncovered. I could be wrong, but this is from my understanding of it. So the God of the Bible is called Yahweh, right?
And
But-
where did that come from? Like, I don't mean where did the word name Yahweh come from, but where does it come into the Bible? Is it in the Bible?
Yeah, as far as I know, it would have been any time reference to God. It was Yahweh, and you go back further.
Just like how they call
To,
like,
like, the-
Spider-Man, like the Amazing Spider-Man, and like, or the Incredible Spider-Man,
Well, the thing is, they had loads of different gods,
or
right?
the Man of Steel.
They had, like, you know, the god of I was going to say the god of thunder, Thor, you know. But I mean, they had like you know, the god of this, the god of that, the god of, and there's actually a lot of people think
Aye.
that Yahweh was a specific type of god, and he was. This is why the Bible describes his characteristics, so that you know what god they're talking about. And there's a lot of people think it's actually they're referring to a volcano.
Like how you had like Zeus was like the god was he the god of war, and Poseidon was the god of the sea.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously like, you know, much later and everything, but the idea is back, you know, they had the sort of the first Jews and everything like that. They had all these different gods, and Yahweh was one of them. And over time, and in fact, if you go up the earliest translation of the Torah, the Hebrew Bible, it was actually El. Would see how we say God just now.
Yeah.
El was the term used for God. So you'd have loads of different El, right? You know, if he's an El, he's a god. But he
Like
may be
Kal-El.
like Kal-El, yeah, and Jar-El and all that stuff. This is where like all science fiction knows this stuff and they derive from it. But so El would be what if we say God, you know, you'd say you've got the Christian God, the blah 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 God, the blah 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 God, the Hindu God, and all that stuff. Back then they would say El, but they would all have different names.
Mhm.
So you know, so in the Bible, the earliest translations of it, it actually said Elohim, right, which is
Right.
the plural. So it's saying the gods did all this, you know, the first, and this goes back as well. There's a document found called the Enuma Elish, which is this sort of the version of the creation story which the Bible stole from. Again, it's all borrowing from other stuff.
Who
But-
is it that state there is only one God, there is no other God greater than me?
Well, this is all. This then was adapted. See, the formation of the Torah was like adapted over time. There was like all these different groups. There was like the Priestleys, the Jawists, the Deuteronomists, and they all added to it and changed it. And the first version of the creation story was talking about Elohim, and it was all. It got changed, and I think it got changed during this thing called the Babylonian exile. which is where the Babylonians came and fucking kidnapped the Jews, basically. And then the Persians there later released them, and the Jews like fucking chopped up their, or is it? Am I saying it right? Is it the Yahwists? We'll call them. Saying Jews. The Yahwists, they chopped up to, they were worshipping too many gods or false gods or something like that. So they kind of chopped and changed and said, okay, well let's do what they're doing. The Persians only they had Zoroastrianism, and this was the first sort of monotheism where they only worship one god. So the Yahwists kind of copied them and then said, we're our most powerful god Yahweh, we're going to worship him. And then they changed the text to fucking one god, blah blah blah, all this stuff. They basically plagiarized that from the Zoroastrians. But the point was, okay, so you've got El, which is their thing for God, right? For a god, Elohim for plural. But the God of the Old Testament is called Yahweh, right? Now, when you were taking an oath, or you were conducting a swear, and this is the bit I'm kind of sketchy on, I don't know how much of this is true.
In the Bible and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you swear something to be true, you cannot invoke God's name, right?
Right.
Because that would be blasphemy.
Okay.
So you weren't allowed to, if you were taking a swear, you weren't allowed to even invoke God's name. You weren't allowed to say Yahweh.
Yeah.
So what they did was, they invented this word, God, right? Supposedly, I don't know how much of this is true, like you look into the etymology and stuff like that, but supposedly said dog spelt backward because of dogma. Supposedly it's derived from that, but anyway, so they come up with this word God, and God is the word that they use in place of Yahweh when performing a swear. So God was the first word that you could use when swearing. So God's the first swear word, right?
Right.
And then from that, you get the first curse word, right? Now, a swear word is kind of different from a curse word. The first curse word is damn, right?
Because like, oh, damn you to hell.
Yeah, and that's what it is. If you say God damn you, back in those times when this shit came out, that was literally a prayer. You know, God could hear you.
God. So if you say that to somebody would be like,
so you've
oh,
just prayed to God to condemn me to eternal damnation.
Which is kind of like that. I don't know if you ever watched Supernatural. There's an opening to an episode of Supernatural where this guy dressed in a black trench coat and that gets out of a car and he starts walking down the street and he's weaving through the crowd. And then as he's weaving through the crowd, it's playing that I can't even think of the song. I want to say it's Enya or something. So it's like, oh no, it's not. It's that hey, what you say? I don't know, whatever it is.
I don't know.
But so he's weaving through the crowd.
Someone will know.
And then there's a guy like walking towards him, and he looks at the guy, and the guy like kind of tilts his head, and then he like touches his shoulder, and the guy just instantly falls down dead.
Right.
And like, the guy kind of looks at him and keeps walking, and then after he's finished walking, he keeps weaving through the crowd again, and he's avoiding everybody.
Oh, so he's like deaf.
And he is basically deaf.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like come out of the car and he's picking his victim. He's weaving through other people not to touch them because obviously he's got the deaf touch. So, but he picks this one person, and it's almost like the guy looks at him and recognises it's his time, and then like he just gives him a gentle brush of the shoulder, and the guy just literally falls down dead. Everybody runs to him and like crowds round him. He just gives him that look and keeps walking away, as if he's like really satisfied. So it's, I suppose that could be the whole kind of like God thing. If you used it the wrong way, you would be like.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But the thing is, they literally believed in things like that. Like there would be a spirit walking around who touched you, killed you on instant, and if you prayed to God, you might be able to. You know, maybe if you were a good person, maybe you think, well, this guy's a good person. Like maybe God would do what he wants. So I mean, they were superstitious as fuck. So if someone said, "God damn you," that's not. They're not going to take that on the chin. That's like you've just prayed to God, and essentially a prayer. You've put a curse on someone. So this is where curse came from, and then as it went, like in America, they adopted it, the curse word and all this stuff, and it went through the South, and it got changed with just their dialect to cuss. You often hear in American programs the cuss word. That's just the curse word, but they've lost some of the pronunciation of it. So, and then you've got profanity as well, right? You hear this a lot. Profanity is anything outside of the church. Anything that shouldn't be inside the church. So they made up a rule like no dogs allowed in the church, right? And if you brought a dog inside the church, the dog shouldn't be there. So that act would be profane, that would be profanity, bringing... But of course now you hear, like, you know, we think of profanity as someone said, fuck, that's profanity. And I guess in a way they'd say, oh, well, that's not allowed inside the church, so I guess it would be. But so you've got, you know, God's the first swear word. You've got damn is the first curse word. And of course you can see how that evolves over time to the point where when people are superstitious, don't say damn. Don't say damn. And in fact, you watch movies from like the fucking 50s and whatever, and that is the big... you can't say damn. It's like the big word, you know, you can't say damn. Yeah, and then it's like when they do say it, it's like, here's the rebel because he said damn.
Aye.
And that's what it is, because it's a proper... You're placing a curse on someone, damning them. And then it goes from damn to damn it. And now you're not even talking about anyone in particular, but you say damn it. And, oh, you can't say damn it. Alright, concern it. You know? Oh, you can't say concern it. Like, and that's it. And now we've got to the point where if you say shit on TV, and it gets fucking bigger than that, if you say nigger on TV, it's like, what? A fucking word! A word!
Well, that's like
a word!
Fucking Jeremy Clark. Going ape shit
he
over
went
that.
eeny, meeny, miny, mo kitchen, by the toe.
Yeah.
And people
Oh,
are
is that
wondering...
way? I've
Yeah.
not seen the video.
Oh, he
but
fucking
I-
mumbled
He
it.
sits there and he just goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo kitchen, by the toe.
but
And he
is
does it exactly
deliberately
like
mumble
that.
it?
Yeah, but...
It was during recording, and he took a few takes.
Yeah, he took 3 or 4 takes
Yeah.
and he said to them, please don't ever use that. And now somebody's decided, we're going to put it out there.
But like that's the thing
But-
about like you hear old people talking about black faces and stuff like that. I mean, and that's not like an old person being racist. Like that's just how they talk. Like
Yeah, but-
I wouldn't like somebody in my generation would never say like, "Oh, that black face down the shop." But like somebody older maybe would say that, and that's just obviously like a term that he's just grown up with. Like that's
Yeah.
what he said. Like when I was in primary school and we did that. For like doing Tigger or whatever like that, we would always say catch a Tigger.
Yeah.
And I always just thought it was like a tiger or like fucking something with Winnie the Pooh. But that was just what it was. But like it obviously came for like.
I think it's...
It's crazy. I mean, we could do a whole episode. We're close to finishing up, but we could do a whole episode on fucking racism.
It's...
Like, I've got a lot to say about that as well.
The whole Jeremy Clarkson thing, though, like, that Jamelia had been, like, on Loose Women saying that he's a disgusting man, he should be sacked because of what he done.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't say it. Like, sure, he mumbled it, but then how many people in their lifetime have stood, like, in a school playground or that and be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a... regardless of what they say, they all know what the original saying is, so it's in their head.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was catch a nigger by the toe.
I was Tigger.
I mean, like, To Kill a Mockingbird, the book sums it up really well. That, like, because, what's he called? Bo Ridley. Is it Bo Ridley?
Thanks, dude.
I think it's mostly his son.
I can't mind his name now, but I think it's Bo Ridley or something. That because he's black, he's no matter who defends him or what the story is, he's always going to be found guilty because of the colour of his skin, because it's in like Mississippi and it's like it's KKK territory at that time.
Right.
And it's like he comes out with the saying. Like,
Sorry, Mississippi. I thought you said Mrs. Zippy,
No,
and I was
Mississippi.
thinking of Rainbow. You know,
Aye.
and I was like, "Fucking Zippy's
Oh, I
wife."
can't get
He
it.
had a wife.
He
Oh,
does
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Her name is Jane.
I think he had a husband.
Jane Zippy.
But no, like, and he comes out with the whole like, shoot all the Blue Jays you want if you can hit them, but remember it's a sin to kill a mockingbird, which is like meaning like you can't really. I don't know. It's a
I haven't looked into that one, but I
And is a
will do.
mockingbird dark in colour?
Do you know what though? I mean, like,
mockingbirds are like the whole like prize bird, like that.
yeah. Well, no, but the thing is, it's all fucking this imposed fucking guilt for fucking words, and the only thing that gives words power is the fact that people continue to fucking tell children that they shouldn't use these types of words, and they
Aye.
continue to have this fear of words. Now, the thing is, if you didn't even fucking acknowledge that there was such an idea of fucking swear words, and you grew up and and you don't care that your kids swear, that doesn't mean that they're going to be like 12 years old. Hey, mum, pass the fucking potatoes.
Aye.
They're not going to, you know.
They're not going to be standing there going, nigger fuck, nigger noise,
Yeah,
noise.
yeah. Like,
But
know
it's,
what I mean?
it's
But
hard to
that's
teach your
it.
children that they can't say these kind of words when like you look at like
Yeah.
exhibit and
well, no, I was even going to
Dr.
say
Dre
the,
and things like that. Like
the-
they're total rapping about like they're using these words in everyday.
there's that as
context.
well, right?
But
Now,
because they're black, it's acceptable. Like, they're singing black music in a black style, so that's acceptable. But if you then walk down the street singing their songs, you are then, like, possibly racist.
Yeah.
But if you
Because-
went to see Dr. Dre and you were shouting about the N-word,
Well, it's the same
that's
thing.
alright.
It's the same thing. There's always, like, Jeremy Clarkson saying that. Now, the thing is, if you're a stand-up comedian, let's say that, you can fucking get away with saying whatever you
you're
want.
Frankie Boyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Frankie Boyle said that. Would anyone bat an eyelid? No, because it's fucking Frankie Boyle. He's allowed because he's a comedian. There's
The
a
thing is, he wouldn't
But
care
if-
either.
Yeah.
But if Michael McIntyre said that, all round fun, bubbly guy,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
yeah. So, but, I mean, I don't know. It's silly that we're so fucking manipulable by this weird acknowledgement that there's these words
Yeah.
and like the thing is, your kids are going to go to school. You know, it's fucking hard to avoid.
They're going to hear
Swear words,
much
aye,
worse
they're
in the
gonna hear it,
playground
aye.
than they're going to hear in the house.
But like then
Well, I don't mean it's hard to avoid them hearing the words. I mean it's hard to avoid them not being punished or being told that those are bad words.
Yeah.
And
aye, because it's like the whole thing. Like if like your wee one says like the like fuck or shit or whatever, like do you either go ooh and then the wee one's like I got a fucking reaction out of that, or do you just pass it off and they're like, well that didn't get me anything? Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
See, Emily knows what a swear word is.
See, I always try and tell kids, like, I don't do it with like my nephew because obviously it would just create controversy and everything. But I always say to kids, you know, if I can, if an opportunity's there and they want to talk about swear words, I always say to them, there's no such thing as swear words.
Same as Baba Black Sheep.
Aye, I was going to say that
It's
earlier.
now Baba
aye.
Lamb Sheep in nurseries.
A lamb
And
sheep,
it's-
that does you make
It's no
fucking
longer called a
sense.
blackboard, it's called a chalkboard in school.
See, that's
we're
ridiculous.
getting
That
to
is
see-
ridiculous.
It's
It's
gonna
a
get to the
board
point-
that's fucking black.
It's going to get to the point where you're going to go into a chip shop and ask for an ethnic pudding supper. Or you're going to be like, where is your ethnic and Caucasian bread, please? Like,
Aye.
it's going to be...
No, it is, because it kind of, I mean, a similar thing happened with, you know, feminism and, like, you know, you can't say milk man, it's milk person or whatever it is, you know. I don't know why I went with milk there, but, you know what I mean, like, that's kind of changed and it's like all this fucking political correctness. I think the worrying about what someone says,
It's too fucking petty. There's
Yeah.
there's bigger issues than that. There's bigger fish to fry.
I don't even think it is an issue. I don't think it should even be
But
considered.
some people think it is a big issue.
And exactly, and you know what? Those people are fucking entitled to think whatever they want, but you do not have a fucking ounce of permission to tell me what I'm allowed to say, or to try and fucking censor me. And I fucking hate it when, like, you know, you're watching a program and they'll do the beeping noise and they'll bleep stuff out. I'm like, what if everyone in the world just forgot that there was such a thing with fucking swearing? Would it make a difference? It'd probably make a fucking positive difference.
Right.
And even though I'm swearing every couple of
But
words
then
now,
it's just like
I probably wouldn't be doing that if I didn't, you know, hadn't grown up with this fucking.
It's just an expression. Because if you're telling a story about something,
Exactly.
and you're like,
It would be something
he
else.
was so fucking dumb. You're like, that guy was really an
Yeah,
idiot.
and if
Do
you
know
didn't
what I
say
mean?
and if you didn't say
It's
fucking
just,
dumb, it was he was so damn dumb. It would be
He was
something else.
high.
Do you know what? Almost all words, like I've went through, not almost all words, but there's a lot of words with nicknames and stuff like that. You know, dude, call each other dude. Hey, sup, dude. That used to be a fucking derogatory term.
Right.
That used to be from like in America back in the day, where like they'd take these kids out into the fucking the farms and the stables and the horses and all this stuff, and he'd be like a kid from the city, right? And they'd try and, like, you know, break him and teach him fucking things, and they'd have these places set up, like kind of like ranches set up for bringing city kids in
Okay.
to try and teach them about life.
the country.
Yeah, and they'd call these fucking places dude ranches,
Oh.
right? Because if you came here, city kid, it was a fucking derogatory thing. You'd be called a dude because you went to the dude ranch, like, or you weren't clued up on all this stuff, and it started as this insult, but then evolved into now people just like to call each other dude. Hey, what's up, dude?
Aye.
And it's no one would even think of that as being a fucking insult.
So that means you're like a city kid going into the country. I
Yeah.
just think of the Blink-182
See-
album when you say that, Sam.
It's stupid
Yeah,
as well, like,
well, that's why they went with that.
The Dranch.
the Jeremy Clarkson thing, like, the other one that they're all complaining about is the
I need
Burma
to be quick
Special.
on this one. We've got a minute left.
The Burma Special, where they've built the bridge over the River Kwai,
Yeah.
and he sits and he goes, I can't believe this, it's a thing of beauty, but there's a slope on it.
Yeah.
And it did
Oh.
visibly have a slope. But because there was an Asian man walking across it, everybody's suddenly going, that's a racist term.
Well, the
Because
thing is,
Asians used to get
the
called
thing is,
slopes.
even if he said that to be funny,
Yeah.
he's saying it to be funny.
Aye,
There's no
and the-
fucking
and
nastiness
there's
to
no
him.
malice in it,
There's-
so-
yeah,
No, there's
it's
not.
a fucking joke. There was a joke presented in front of him, and he was quick enough to fucking think of
Aye.
it.
And like the thing is as well, like he comes from the era that's like I'm sure like
When it was
Fawlty Towers,
acceptable.
like Fawlty
Like-
Towers would have fucking racist stuff in it. Like Manuel, like didn't have they couldn't fucking communicate at all with him.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's through that era. Like that's just like
Look at Allo Allo, the whole
aye, I
programme was
know
racist.
it's fucking
like, the guy
the
that
whole
plays the
thing's
Frenchman,
racist.
like,
Aye,
he's
But it's-
Polish.
the postman.
He's putting on a fake French accent and
Yeah.
But that's just like his schooly like fucking.
But I wonder, we'll end on it because we
Oh,
could do a
do you
whole
know what I
fucking
mean?
podcast on that. But I do wonder if the hurt feelings from this idea of racism, or the not necessarily the hurt feelings, but the fucking the emotions that stem from it. I
Yeah.
wonder if there's more emotions come from white people who are worried about.
That's exactly what it is. Sam.
You know,
about
worried
saying
about
it
how this poor black person might feel if someone says a word, which that's the real fucking racism.
Like, do you
Where
remember that week that I
you're-
did the Chinese impression, and as soon as I did it, I was like,
Oh shit, yeah. But that's it. And I mean, you're not to blame. Like that's the way society's conditioned us to feel. Like you know,
my mum does it.
yeah.
My mum does the Chinese impression. It's
Ah,
horribly racist.
My mum. I thought you said your mum like gives you
I
shit
love you,
for it.
Mum.
She's not
Fucking,
going to fucking watch this. She doesn't know what a YouTube is.
That's what she just calls you. YouTube.
what was it? Oh, my mum said to me the other day, like she was fucking, she was wanting some cleaned and stuff, and she goes, go over there and see if there's a black bag, and I was like, that's racist, you know, like because I don't know in Scotland we call
A black bag.
Well, no, we call old
Bin
people
liners.
bags as well, so it was like maybe a black bag outside, right? Now, is it, you know, like, my mum was fucking horrified. I'm like, it's a joke, like, fucking, come
Aye.
on, like, whatever. But,
I mean, I was at a party years ago, and then like a pal of mine at this party started like a rumour that I was racist, right? And it was just like a joke. I don't know why it was funny, but I was like going around dropping like the N word and all that the whole time, and everybody was like digging it and all that kind of stuff. And I was talking to this last time, I was like, oh fucking, I don't even like balsamic vinegar. And she's like, why not? It's like, it's just vinegar, but it's black. And she's like, really? And I was like, no, are you fucking like, are you serious? Like, why would I go that fucking far? But she did fucking bother anyway. It's stupid.
yeah,
But
we're
it's
too
just, it just gets petty to a point, Sam. It does.
Oh, here comes the time Nazi.
no, the thing is, it's, I mean, this is a conversation we
We've
could
still
have.
not even had the Nazi episode, Ryan. I'm fucking bursting in it. I've been bursting with Nazi facts since fucking the wrestling episode. I swear to God, every week. And I thought this week, this will be the fucking chance to conspiracy.
This could have been the Nazi one, but, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'll end it there. Thanks very much, Ryan, for coming in.
Welcome.
That was awesome.
Thanks for Ryan Green.
Thanks for Ryan Green.
I like
Happy
having a
birthday
guest on.
to Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Sammy. Sammy, it's your birthday.
I thought it was going to be longer than that. But,
I
okay.
don't know the rest
Should've
of it. That was like the Michael Jackson. Happy birthday, Lisa.
I was warned not to sing on camera, so I'm
Lisa,
not.
it's your birthday.
Right, okay, we'll end it there. I don't know, I feel like we should apologise. I don't know why, but it's this fucking
Right,
white
you
guilt.
look like a fucking thug in that. Look at Ryan. You don't look a fucking.
Right, I'm going to take it down because it glitches. But yeah, no, I was like, I feel like I don't know, I feel like we've ended on this racist note. Like,
We're all coming across as being racist.
Like, yeah,
None
no,
of us are racist. Can we put out a disclaimer video?
That's
Yeah.
why your goodbye message is perfect.
What's
yeah,
the-
because it's
Thanks for
fucking
everyone.
It's for everyone,
everyone,
even the Muslims.
even them,
And the North Koreans.
in the North Korea, especially the North Koreans.
And Jeremy Clarkson.
See if a North Korean seen this, I'd fucking love that.
Yeah, you know
See
what?
if we could get a North Korean on the show, I'd have no
you
more
think it's racist,
emptiness in my life.
If you ask a North Korean if they've ever been dropping bombs, do you think that would be classed as racist?
He wouldn't know what it meant.
So everything's everything's fucking classed
Do
as
you think
racist.
North Koreans
No,
ever
right.
seen a black man?
Anyway,
No, come on, we can talk
We're
about this
all
later.
kinds
We need
of
to
clothes,
we need
yeah.
to properly end the show. Thanks for everyone.
Thanks for everyone. I don't know where I'm looking.
thanks for
Up
everyone.
there, down there.
Do
Bye.
the wave out the game show.
Respects him as a person, and like she
Aye.
really wants him to. She wishes him all the best for his career, and she'd like to work with him sometime. And I thought, what why is that happening? Like,
But then maybe
You know-
she's just going after Dave Grohl because he's a big name. Do you know what I mean? He's fucking Dave Grohl. Like, but was there not the thing about when they were inducting him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently? Bear?
A bit too close. It's fucking vibrating.
When they were inducing them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently, and they're talking about Courtney Love performing with Nirvana, like fronting them.
oh yeah.
I don't know if she actually did do it.
I don't think she did. I think it was. I'm sure I'd seen that. I'm sure Taylor Swift was one of them. I'm sure it was like Taylor Swift, Dave Grohl, Pat Smear, and someone else. I don't think it was Courtney Love, but I think there had been talk. But I'm pretty sure it was Taylor Swift that was the front woman.
Were you a big Nirvana fan?
I fucking hate Nirvana. The only reason I hate them is like some of their songs are okay, but I hate the fact that like you walk down the street and you see all of the little folk wearing like their Nirvana hoodies and like their
Aye, I
Nevermind
know.
t-shirts, and it's like you're only doing it because he committed suicide.
Aye.
Like a
I
lot
mean,
of them-
that's kind of not Nirvana's fault, but I know what you mean.
no, but it's like they've got this legacy and this following of fans because he committed suicide.
We had, I mean, when we first started getting into sort of alternative kind of stuff, and I remember I had a Nirvana t-shirt at one point, but I properly liked them, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I liked Unplugged.
Aye, that was good.
And you know, and I liked a few of their kind of mainstream songs, but I wouldn't know anything off of, you know. There's a lot of
Like
obscure
back
songs.
catalogue
fucking-
or whatever like that.
Yeah, yeah. Although there was this one song I was aware of, and it was like a really rare song, and it was like he only ever played it like on this radio thing. I think it was called Opinion.
No, I've not heard.
Opinion.
I don't know, Sam, I like it though. It sounds like the Beach Boys. My opinions.
I wonder if I could play that. Nah, probably not. But I can't get it out of my
Courtney
head now.
Love's hardly going to come after you, Sam.
Aye, you know, but no. So I was aware of that. But so there was this wee guy. I won't say his name. Just I don't think he watches this, but just in case, there was this wee guy that sort of started hanging about with us, and he done what you're talking about. Went off and got a Nirvana top, and so we knew he fucking didn't have a clue who Nirvana was. Right? We thought he didn't even know a song. We thought he just bought the t-shirt because he'd seen us wearing the t-shirt.
I like the fucking skull.
Yeah, and he got like the red one, you know. It's not even the fucking real one. I don't know. But yeah, so we were all like making fun of him and stuff like that, you know, and we're like, which is a bit mean, like looking back on it, like,
You do that when you're younger.
yeah, we were saying to him like, oh yeah, big Nirvana fan, yeah. What's your favourite song, right? And he was like, oh, I'd probably say Smells Like Teen. And we were like, oh yeah, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And he's like, eh? And we're like, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And he's like, no, Smells Like Teen.
So he's correcting you now.
Yeah. And I was like,
Wrongly.
what do you mean Smells Like Teen? He's like, the song's called Smells Like Teen. And I'm like, no, it's not. It smells like Teen Spirit. And he's fucking arguing with me, right? And it took us a while, and I'm like, this fucking douchebag's arguing with me about the fucking title of the song. The fucking most obvious song that, you know, they have. And then what it turned out was, what we realised was, he'd only ever seen it on Kerrang.
Yeah.
In Kerrang, the name was too long, so they didn't have on screen Smells Like Teen Spirit. They cut it off, so it just came up Smells Like Teen.
Aye.
So like he was convinced that was the name of the song, but it just showed you like he didn't have any of the fucking albums, or you know, he I didn't even know he knew one of their songs, but of course he'd seen one of their songs and whatever, had his t-shirt and all that. So like maybe some of them do know Smells Like Teen,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was one of these guys just wearing the t-shirt because it was whatever.
So that was a thing that.
And I'll tell you something as well, though, right? I've not got necessarily anything against, like, if you've got a fucking band, right? Like, say Guns N' Roses, and they're bad for it as well. You see people like walking about with Guns N' Roses t-shirts, and
And
you
like
know,
Ramones and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Like all these
A
like
lot of
shops sell like
Ramones.
Ramones t-shirts and fucking Guns N' Roses t-shirts and AC/DC t-shirts, and you're like, you don't fucking listen to you don't listen to that.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like I seen sorry Sam, there's
Yeah.
like a lassie that like somebody's daughter that I know, right? And she was like
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot.
You better not complain, bitch.
So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have, the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Boom. Oh, that was loud. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, on the Chairman of the Board podcast. We have a guest with us today. Now, last week, we announced we had a guest for this week. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. So we have, not really a substitute. You're a guest in and of itself.
He's like the third wheel. No.
He's
That's a
squeaky.
that's a derogatory kind of thing to say about
third
me.
wheel.
The third wheel.
It
He's
It doesn't have to be a derogatory thing.
He's like.
Not if you've got a Robin Reliant.
Oh my god. Right, so this is...
He's like the best man at a wedding.
Yeah. Is that right? That would imply that this is a wedding, Paul. Who's the bride?
I fucking don't know, Sam.
Right.
I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is... You're finally meeting him. Number one fan.
Super fan!
Ryan Green. You didn't do it with me, Paul.
I don't know what's supposed to.
Dick.
Do it again.
Do it again. Alright, start again.
Right.
Number one fan, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Green.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
Aye, and again, we only have one microphone. Fucking... And you didn't get me a beer,
I've
Paul.
got fucking 6 beers down here.
Yeah, but
So, like,
yourself.
I don't know what... Do you
He's
want
hiding
one?
them. I did. I also wanted a
Right,
glass.
you
I suppose that's not happening.
Well, I've got myself a glass.
Fucking hell, man.
Ryan G. Money Green.
I can have one.
I'm beginning to think you've got a problem, man. The Jack Daniels t-shirt, keeping the beer to yourself,
I just felt like a beer tonight, Sam.
trying to act casual with it in a glass.
I fancied it in a glass as well.
I
Yeah.
was going to bring you some Jack Daniels, but Ashley told me I'm not allowed to. Ash told me don't take Sam Jack Daniels because
Aw.
he's not meant to drink it.
It's my fucking birthday as
I know,
well.
it's half drunk, but I've not drank it, so I was going to give you it.
I'd have still appreciated it. I fucking love that Jack Daniels honey though.
Yeah,
That's some good shit.
it's good.
That was my reward when We'll Work for Free got to, I think it was like 100,000 views. I was like, this is my reward time.
Did you buy it for yourself, though?
Got a, what?
Did you buy it for yourself?
No, actually, I don't want to admit this.
You got a Kickstarter for it, Ryan?
A Kickstarter for a bottle of Jack Daniels honey.
No, my mum bought it for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, just, I don't know.
When's the next milestone, Sam?
Well, I thought I was getting another bottle when it hit 200,000, but I didn't get anything.
No. If you have 100,000 as a milestone, you can't have 200,000 because then you need to have 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, you'd have to have 250.
Yeah, 250.
I think 250 is the next
aye.
milestone because that's like 250,000.
But then you couldn't have 750. Then you need to go for 500,000 and then straight to 1 million. And then for that, 5 million.
It seems so crazy, like
750.
500 million views and stuff like that's fucking. But you know, I'm almost halfway there. You
But
know,
Justin Bieber's had so many billions, and yous are way more interesting than he is. He needs Jaden Smith to make him interesting.
I know. I was listening to Seth Rogen.
Who's
talk.
that? Is that the karate expert?
Yeah, it sure is.
Thanks for cleaning that up.
You're welcome.
Again, we don't have anything planned as well, so this is going to be a total fucking roller coaster of a podcast. So this could be anything, and I hate these episodes where we don't have anything planned because see, trying to name them, it's all right if we got a subject we talk about it and stick to it, but sometimes we just fucking, I don't know, just go off in all kinds of directions. But this is a good one though because we can actually name this one. This episode is called Number One Fan Ryan Green.
I get
But
my
you
own
pronounce it
episode of
like-
something.
Ryan Green. Sorry,
I finally get my own episode of something.
you do of something.
Yeah,
What else did you want an episode of?
I don't know. I'd have to be on something, I suppose. But
Aye, man. So, do you have anything you want to talk about? You been enjoying the podcast so far?
I love it.
You are our number one fan, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we kind of made up that nickname, but I think you've sort of embraced it.
No, well, that's it. I mean, I like watching it every week. It's always interesting. Two pretty funny guys. Although, when I bumped into Paul and Falkirk the other day, I so wanted to just go up and cuddle him and then walk away and just make it look really strange in the middle of a hobbycraft shop. It was actually Paul that noticed me though. Are you Ryan Green? I should have said no.
We should
Aye, it was quite weird.
the fumes coming up will spell out Chairman of the Board. And I was telling Paul this, I was all excited, yeah, we'll have these fart jar t-shirts. And Paul was like, but we only spoke about that once. I was like, oh yeah.
It was weird as well because like I kind of think I was driving when you're telling me, and I think I zoned out, and I was like, and then I listened, I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't know. I was like, what is he talking about?
It's kind of like Casey Dixie, like their mandolin player wears like the whole Cactus Jack marble effect kind of top.
I think you showed me some Casey
and
Dixie.
They've got a song called "Keeping Your Poop in a Jar."
All right.
And it's quite a funny song, but you could have had like the fart jar, and it could have had "Keeping Your Farts in a Jar."
Oh,
See, but
Like,
only
you
you
had
would
the
get the
marble
reference.
effect through it, because your chairman of the board logo is kind of that marble effect. It would work.
aye, it's kind of like a smoky fart gas colour.
Aye, it's
Like
got
in
a
a
bit weird.
cartoon, like if a duck or something was like following the smell of a fart, that would be what it would look like. That kind of wispy smell.
That's what our t-shirts look like.
Yeah,
That's what
or
you're
like
saying.
a pie on a windowsill, and Donald Duck's going towards the pie on the windowsill. Do
Looks
ducks
like-
eat pies?
It looks like North Korea from Google Maps.
Oh yeah, we had a
cloud of
fucking
yellow.
North Korea thing last week as well.
Aye.
I wanted to tell you about and totally forgot. I wanted to keep up on North
Oh,
Korea
aye, I missed that as
every
well,
week.
Sam, aye.
See, now I can't really remember the details. It was something to do with there was a hairdresser.
Oh, aye, I think we all spoke about that.
No, we didn't speak about that on this.
I
That
spoke
was
to
brought
Ryan
up at one
about
point
it.
about the
I think
all the
we-
university
we-
students
we
were told you must have the same haircut as.
I thought it was the whole
No,
country.
we spoke about that.
Uh-huh.
But this is what I'm saying. Off the back of that, in London,
Oh yeah, you put up the poster.
yeah, there was a guy who owns a salon. Put up a poster outside of Kim Jong Un, and the fucking tag is "Bad Hair Day?" ?
Right.
And you know, it's obviously like bad hair day. Go on and get your salon. Well, like apparently there was like Korean officials or something like that said, "Oh, you can't do this. This is disrespectful to the great leader."
Right.
And they basically told him, if you don't take it down, we'll shut you down, kind of thing.
And he's like, "Yeah, but this isn't fucking North Korea. He's not
Aye.
my great leader." You know. So that was a wee story there. But that's what I'm saying. I meant to bring it up last week. Now I kind of forgot all the minor details.
That is the gist of it, though.
Yeah, kinda.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, though, the whole fucking that whole thing. I don't know if we talked about the haircut thing on the podcast. I'm sure I talked to you about it. Like
No, we
through
did, we did.
Facebook or something. Did I?
We spoke about it.
it
Yeah.
was covered briefly. Aye.
I think so. Anyway.
There's not much you can say about it.
Anyway, sorry. I'm thinking I was interrupting you there. I don't know if
No,
you
no,
said something.
no. Just
Oh, we were talking about Casey Dixie.
yeah. There's not been much in the news this week that I've paid attention to though.
No.
There was a whole like Elena Baltasha dying, which was
Aye.
quite a shame for British tennis. She's only 30.
Mhm.
So, I mean that's quite.
Aye.
She's been ill for like 6-7 years though, so she's.
Do you know what's weird as well? There seems to always be a fucking death. I've noticed this whenever we do the podcast. There's always we're always saying someone died this week.
Aye.
Yeah, because
It's just like every week there's a fucking death.
Again, that
Peaches
There's
Geldof.
Peaches
as well.
Geldof as
Peaches
well.
Geldof.
I heard that this week that they found out that she had heroin in her system.
Yeah, yeah.
and Bob Hoskins as well.
Aye,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was good in
yeah.
Duke. I liked him in
Yeah,
Duke.
he was good.
Shmee, shmee.
Aye.
Shmee.
Oh, what was that I was watching? I'm sure he was in it. There was something I was watching. That's what I was watching. I don't know if it was him that was in it, but there was something that was like right like him. I was
Mhm.
watching Helter Skelter.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
It's
song.
like the Charles Manson.
Alright, aye.
I don't know if it's a made-for-TV movie or what it is.
Aye.
And it's fucking awful. Like, I just think it's so bad. You know, it comes across like they're purposely trying to portray him as this fucking nut job. And
Charles Manson.
yeah, and like I mean, you talk to people and you say, "What do you think of Charles Manson?" You go, "A nut job."
Mhm.
And I'll give you that he is a bit fucking kooky, you know. But you watch his videos, like Charles Manson's got all these interviews and stuff like he's had, and every one of them, the fucking presenters are really trying to make him out to be like they're doing those pressing questions where they're trying to get this response from him.
Yep.
And a lot of times, I don't know, I find it hard to disagree with him. Sometimes he says a lot of things that are.
He's
I mean-
supposed to be a very smart guy.
Well, that's it, and I mean, it could be like maybe I'm reading into it because a lot of it's kind of sort of metaphorical, you know, and I'm maybe looking at it in my own sort of way, you know. But I don't know. I find it hard to disagree with him sometimes. I mean, obviously he's got stuff out there that I don't agree with, but he says a lot of good. He doesn't come across like this just absolute psycho, and that's what this film kind of portrays him as, just this fucking nut job. Like they're sitting in the film, and the weird thing about the film as well is we're talking about Lost. There's a character in Lost, Daniel Faraday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the guy that fucking explained this story. Like, so these guys have never met before,
No.
and me and Paul, where did we go? We were at Pizza Hut.
Aye.
on that day that fucking everybody thought it was my birthday.
The Pizza Hut buffet.
Yeah, my gran made a mistake and thought it was my birthday on the 1st. And so, you know the way Facebook is like, you don't even really need to check, is it someone's birthday? You just see all the things, happy birthday, happy birthday. And so my gran posts happy birthday, then someone else obviously saw that, posted happy birthday, and I'm like commenting to each one of them, no, it's not my birthday, my gran fucked up. And then next thing you know, I've got like 8 comments like fucking happy birthday, and I was like, they're not going to believe me now on the 7th when it is my birthday. But so we went out to Pizza Hut and took a birthday photo.
Yeah.
But then we went to the
hobby shop.
The hobby shop, and I was outside, just happened to bump into Ryan Green, and we thought it'd be funny if we snuck up on Paul and he sort of just started talking to him, and then it was like revealed later, oh, you're actually talking to Ryan Green, and it fucking didn't go as well as planned. Paul turns around the corner, I'm hiding trying to get Hazel to bring her back, say like, wait, leave it, because like we've planned something. The first thing you hear, Paul, are you Ryan Green? Just fucking shattered the plan.
And because he caught me off guard, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If he had even walked past me, I would have probably done that wee silent thumbs up, but he didn't.
But then what if you'd said no? Where would that leave us?
Well,
I would just keep walking. I'd be like, that's fucking him.
And I'd be wondering, how many times has he done that to people? Just, are you Ryan Green?
Paul did admit though that I'm not the first person he's asked if they're Ryan Green,
Oh, yeah?
so that's scary.
Aye,
I
well,
live my life like that, Sam. I just live on the edge constantly. I'm going to meet people that I've never met in my life.
see, like, you guys kind of look similar as well, and you usually wear glasses, so that's kind of,
Yeah.
you look a bit different today, but
I don't know if we do look different.
you are pretty similar. Like, am I alone in this here? Like, fucking these two guys just look the same. We could have started this with like you sitting there, and
You could have, yeah.
We should have actually.
but aye. So do you ever just like walk past a shop and see your reflection and like think that's that? Oh no,
It's fucking Ryan Green.
that's that fuck. He's following me everywhere. But
Top shot.
aye. No, so you have met. Do you like each
Aye.
other? Is this
I
going
don't
good?
really know.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we'll get on like
Because this would be an awkward podcast if like halfway through it like we find out that there's something that divides you.
Aye. It's always weird, like, when we have a guest on, like, I'm always in really close vicinity to people that I don't know. Like, I think it would be weird enough if it's you, like, say, like, the setup, like, say we only had one mic and one webcam and we had to do this. Like, when we first started this, I thought it was so fucking weird that I had to sit across the table for him and sit and look at him and talk at him. Because you don't do that in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, you sit and you're looking here or there, but, like, now I'm like, that was weird. But now, fucking somebody I don't even know is, like, in my space.
But then, why doesn't Sam need to share the microphone?
I know.
Because he's the host.
Yeah, but you're a
Aye.
co-host, so you have power too.
Aye, I'm not the.
Aye,
I'm
I
not
know,
the
but I see it as
sole
your,
host.
I see it as your baby.
No, this
Aye.
is our show. Paul.
I feel like you're the Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell,
Is that his name? The Joe Rogan's pal.
Brian Redband.
He's got that Duncan Trussell guy as well. I don't really listen to him. Like, I do listen to some Joe Rogan stuff. I listened to that one this week with that Stephen Greer guy, and he was a bit mad. Aye, I know, Sam. Is the headphones picking
Oh
them
no,
up?
I've just realised. Alright, so we're hearing a lot of noise, and what it is Hazel's actually watching this in the next room. So Hazel, shut the fucking door or something. Fucking
I
hell.
don't think she's watching it because I heard audience laughter. Unless you fucking put canned laughter on it this week, Sam.
I've snuck it in.
She'll be watching The Big Bang Theory or something.
No,
It's
no,
probably
No, it
just,
is, it is,
it is
it
us.
is.
It's probably just us
I
laughing
was
at,
sure I could hear a canned laughter.
laughing at our own jokes because we're cool that way.
Hilarious!
Aye, man. So subjects. What do you want to talk about, Ryan? This is like, although it's our show, Paul. It's our
Yeah.
show. It's not just my show.
Aye.
Fucking hell. This week it's kind of your show. You can do whatever you want. Just don't get naked. That's all we ask.
I try not to these days.
Or don't fart in jars. That's the other thing. We've not spoke about fart jars in a while.
It came up this week, Sam.
This week.
Aye, we were talking about it for some reason.
Oh, I thought you meant just now. I was like, yeah,
No.
just brought it up.
I just brought it up right
The
now.
fucking reason I'm bringing it up is to say that we don't bring it up. Because like I had the cool idea for the T-shirt. I was like, yeah, you know what we should do? Like the chairman of the board logo. I'll fucking take all the colour out of it, you know, and then make like one solid colour. I'll make it green, right?
Okay.
And then I'll put it inside this jar, right? And then the jar will have holes in it, and the plays Charles
He
Manson.
would be a good salesman.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was watching. And I was like, I fucking know this guy, like, you know. And because it is kind of the same character a little bit, you know.
What was
the way he's
the-
like thingied.
The Guns N' Roses song that Charles Manson wrote.
I
Like he
don't
wrote it
know.
in prison, and it's the secret track on one of the Guns N' Roses albums. I think it's like get your game girl or look at your game girl or something.
Aye, because and fucking Axl Rose used to wear like the Charles Manson
Yeah.
T-shirt and stuff.
Because he recorded it and like I'd listened to it and I thought, oh, that's a brilliant wee song, and then like after reading into it and I was like, Charles Manson wrote it.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, really? But
Yeah, like I don't know. I'll tell you some things about him, like because we were watching this film. Like we were in the film, there's a bit where they're all sitting around like this kind of what would be a campfire It's during the day, but they're all sitting around, you know, all the stones and stuff. And this girl like asks him a question, and he like looks at her, and then he punches her. Right? It's fucking ridiculous. And then some guy stands up, and then someone else grabs him, and like brings him back down. And then in the film, there's like this woman who's like new to the camp. She's just kind of joined and whatever. So she's like the protagonist. You're sort of seeing it all through her eyes, kind of thing. And so she's like kind of looking about, like he just hit her. And this other girl goes, "He's only giving her what she wants." And you're like, what? Like, all right, okay, so they're all nut jobs. Then the girl who got punched just gets up and like she's got this goofy fucking smile on her face, and she just sits back next to him and she's like looking at him and smiling. And it's like, this isn't fucking real life. This isn't what happened.
yeah.
You know, but that's the way they're trying to portray it as just like something you can't relate to. Like it's just they're absolutely just out there, insane, and all that stuff. And that's what the fucking that's what the movie's trying to get you to believe. But then you go and watch the actual fucking interviews, and him talking, and he's quite fucking coherent a lot of the time. Like, yeah,
Aye.
he's got his goofiness, but a lot of that I think is playing off of the fact that you see the interviews like Geraldo. There's one way fucking what's his name, Geraldo, whatever his second name is, you know, the Fox News guy,
Yeah.
and he's like interviewing him, and he's asking all these questions, and he's like fucking, you know. Tell me about Charles Manson. And it's like, do you consider yourself a good person? And he's like, yeah, I'm good and bad. He's like, yeah, so are you a bad person? And he's like, I'm good and bad. He's like, do you consider yourself a bad person? And he's like, look, you know, we're all good and we're all bad. And he's like, tell me about the bad. Right. And you're like, fuck off, man. You're just trying to get this story, you know, trying to paint him in a certain light.
Yeah.
And so Charles Manson, when you watch him, there is a lot of goofiness, but if you look into it properly, like you can see he's playing off of the way that they're trying to portray him.
Yeah.
You know. And so anyway, I was watching this film and fucking I got me really annoyed because I'm like, you know, you almost, and I know it's stupid to say you should get your information from films,
Yeah.
but they're painting them a certain way, and it's just not like that at all. And you just
Who
feel a
made the
bit
film?
fucking let down.
So remember there was that film.
I don't know. It may have been like a made-for-TV thing. I don't know if it was like
Alright.
properly released and all that stuff.
Because
But
I was going to say, however many years ago, there was a film out called Last Days, and it was about Kurt Cobain, and it was a movie, but it wasn't really about Kurt Cobain, but it was about Kurt Cobain. They just weren't like, this is Kurt Cobain. Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah, I think I know the film.
And it was fucking, I bought it, and it was fucking horrible.
what was it called?
Last Days, I'm sure it was called.
Aye, and
And-
the front cover's like just his face.
I with like them white glasses
Aye,
on
aye,
and
aye.
that, and it was
Yeah.
just like the fucking, like, I think it's this guy Gus Van Sant that made it, and he kind of portrays himself as this kind of like artsy filmmaker, I think. But I just thought it was fucking god awful. Like the first like half hour was Kurt Cobain fucking bumbling about in this house in the fucking country in the middle of a forest, and there was something to do with like a shotgun he had, and he was just, and then he was fucking bumbling about in the forest, and then he went in and he was eating cereal. Then some guy came in, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, it never, like, there was no reference to this guy being in a band, but it was like, this is Kurt Cobain. But we're not saying it's Kurt Cobain, but it's Kurt Cobain.
I think I tried watching it, and I watched about
I couldn't
maybe
fucking
like 20
watch
minutes.
it. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
But do you know what? These films, it feels like fucking people have read the sort of footnotes of like what this guy is supposed to be,
Aye, that's what
and then
it's
they
like.
went and just made a film off of.
It's like they picked up a book, read the blurb,
Yeah.
and went, yep, I know the gist of that story, we can make the film now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it's like. Kurt
that's
Cobain
what-
bumbles about his house for half an hour.
So that's things that annoy me, like Courtney Love, she's always been saying like she blames Dave Grohl for Kurt Cobain's death and so on. And she's been slating him in the press and so on for so many years. And then like later on this year she said that like she really loves Dave Grohl, she